right downstairs and was here. He said, yo, G, I got 126 on the and he's and his wife thought, or they would think that I had nothing to do with that carry. They went home and they knocked me. He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making listen, gotta change. I don't give a fuck if Pop gotta die, they gotta die, or should I go to jail? Just gotta change. They took upstairs, they turned him on and walked back upstairs. And if you go on what he said, and if my man looked at me and was like, yo, that is way.
The hits were always there. Fans obsessed over the Machiavelli album with its eerie subtitle, The 7-Day Fury, and the cryptic line placed it to Enter Machiavelli. Some even noticed that rearranging Machiavelli spells am alive. For years, these were brushed off as morbid Easter eggs from a young man obsessed with passion. But what if they were instructions? A code from an artist who studied Machiavelli's lessons on deception and survival. If GTO is right, the album wasn't a requiem, it was a plan. Then there are these strange inconsistencies in the records. The coroner listed Tupac at 6 feet and 215 pounds, but Prince knew him as 5'10 and 168. The autopsy photo, with its blurred tattoos and odd angles, never convinced the public. And the cremator who supposedly handled Tupac's body, he retired immediately and disappeared.
Rena, what are you two doing here?
It's a long story.
Then you can fill me in later, okay? It looks like we've both been through a lot in the past few days.
You wouldn't believe it even if I told you. And I don't have time right now anyway. We're looking for the entrance to an alternate dimension. We think it could be near the Shrine of Solaria. Do you know anything about this?
Master never told me about an alternate dimension.
He wouldn't have. It's a carefully guarded secret passed from master to master.
But if this alternate dimension is located within the ancestral Shrine of Solaria, I think I know where it is. I'll lead you guys there.
You just had the Voidrex energy expelled. Rest.
I'm not so fragile. Let's go.
She's back to normal.
This way.
Hey! She jumped. It's your turn.
Hey, Snoopy! Slow down, cowboy. Let's get used to it. You guys need to be nice to Northwest because she was spotted in Italy with her mother, Kim Kardashian, and there's a lot of people on the internet speaking about her look. Feels so bad for this girl. She's only 12 years old, and she's already out here.
Eddie Griffin just shook up the entire internet after he went off on Kim Kardashian for booting out 12-year-old North to creepy grown men on the internet. Eddie isn't the type to play around when it comes to kids being sold out, and he has proved that again. Eddie has been minding his business for a hot minute now by staying off the blogs and all the drama that comes with. So the fact that he came out of hiding just to give his 2 cents about this situation definitely had people shocked and seething. He even went as far as telling Kanye to snatch North from Kim before she turns her into another Kardashian doll. Word on the streets is that Kim and her momager, Kris, are prepping North for her own inappropriate video, just like the one Kim did with Ray J. Baby. Every time we think these Kardashians women cannot stoop any lower, then show us new levels of classlessness. Eddie's comments about Kim came after photos of North, dressed like a 21-year-old, got posted all over the internet. A lot of people immediately started dragging Kim for how inappropriately North was dressed for a 12-year-old. She was wearing a 20-inch bust-down blue wig and a tight corset paired with a short denim skirt. Kim Kardashian has absolutely no common sense or dignity. She knew they would be photographed. It's actually exploitation of a minor and child abuse. Another person said, wow, 12. Come on. She looks like she's 18 or older. She is a product of Kim, I feel, because she should not rush her childhood. I mean, obviously she doesn't need a job, hoping she stays in school. Eddie was also one of the many people who saw this, and just like everyone else, he had a lot of nasty things to say, specifically about Kim. During a recent episode of his show, he brought up the fact that folks called Kanye crazy for talking about Kim being a horrible mother to North, only for it to be confirmed years later that she was in fact not being a good mom. He even begged Kanye to intervene. before Kim succeeded in making North a second version of herself.
Somebody said that Kanye was crazy. No, he was sharp. He just sounds crazy at 12 years old. And look how Kim Kardashian got this little girl dressed. Look.
What is it?
Go get your kids. Go get your kids. Because them Kardashians, they not only do they ruin everything, with them end up broke and them keep getting richer. Don't stick in one.
Now, if y'all remember, Kanye opened up about his frustration with how Kim was raising their kids after their divorce, specifically about her making North posts on TikTok, but everyone called him crazy. At the time, Kim convinced everyone she was the victim by accusing him of her and the kids, when the whole time he was trying to save his daughter from being turned into an SEX symbol at the fragile age of 12. Kim responded in a statement claiming that all she did was lip sync on TikTok. Kanye's constant attacks on me in interviews and on social media is actually more hurtful than any TikTok North might create. I am doing my best to protect our daughter while also allowing her to express her creativity in the medium that she wishes with adult supervision. Well, fast forward to now, Kanye was definitely right because North is looking 21 when she's only 12. Even Cat Williams gave his 2 cents back when this mess was happening, and he blamed Kanye for bringing this on himself. In Cat's words, Kim is a WHORE, and this is what Kanye gets for marrying her.
What do you think about Kanye rants? What's going on with Kanye? From a distance, obviously, I don't know how well you know Kanye. I don't know if you've been around Kanye, but from a distance, what do you suspect's going on?
Did you get what you were looking for?
I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do. What do you expect? The guy married a like what? Like I didn't mean it like that. I mean married her because she was one. Not he didn't know. He understood that he wanted that. He courted that. That's what he wanted to base his family on.
You got a good heart, though. I know what you're going to say. Don't you say it, Cat. Don't you say it. I want more time.
If what I'm saying is not correct, then how does she end up with Pete Davis?
Defeat anything blocking up.
I mean, that happens all the time.
And what if you weren't even good enough for Pete? What does that mean to product?
All this wasn't bad enough. People also started speculating that Kim was preparing North to make her own explicit tape in order to continue the Kardashian fights. If we all remember, what made Kim popular was her explicit tape with Ray J. And not too long ago, Ray J revealed that the tape was actually planned and directed by Kris herself. Ray J said Kim's kitty cat was stanking when they made that video, but he put up with it just for the money Kris was paying him.
I don't feel bad. It's unfair, right? Like it's unfair, right? But I do. The first thing, so very much. How bad? Oh yeah. There's no way I feel like that. You gotta get.
Ray J went on to post multiple screenshots of his conversations with Kim over the tapes, and even claimed that there was a second tape that had still not been released. According to him, they did multiple takes of the video, and Kris went through all of them to select the one she thought would go viral.
I don't know what the
Comeback
this
commences.
is. Like you, period. That's black person, period. Black.
Let's try this.
Oh, you done fucked with the wrong one. And just get what I'm deserved from all of y'all being foul.
Try again.
Trying to make me look bad. You know what's up? In 1 hour, I'm seeing everything. We're going through receipts tonight, Kris. We're going through receipts tonight, Kim. Everything that I got, I'm gonna let them see. There ain't nothing.
There are really no words that can adequately describe how positively disgusted I am by the story and what this signifies for in terms of the world that we are in today. What this really means that a mother sat down and decided to sell her daughter's body for fame and money, and she was successful, right? But there are two things here that we need to remember. Not only did she do it, not only should we be completely disgusted by the idea that a mother, I just had a daughter, that a mother would sit down and watch various tapes of her daughter having put the boyfriend out of wedlock, and then say, let's sell this tape. This is the best one. You look the best in this tape. This will make you the most famous. Not only is that stuff, but then that Kim Kardashian is a billionaire today. And she's, by the way, still selling. I now hold the opinion that Kim Kardashian is a prostitute. And I'm not going to edit this opinion. Kim Kardashian is her mother
Score big savings and watch live NFL games this season. New users pay just $49.99 monthly for the first 2 months of YouTube TV. Try it free. Terms apply. Cancel anytime.
Her mother is worse than Kim Kardashian is a corpse. She's a body without a soul. She is so emblematic of the society that we live in today. That if you are willing to degrade yourself, if you are willing to denigrate yourself, then our society, our American society will give you more, right? How much are you?
Another reason folks were quick to believe the allegations about Kim selling North is because Kim actually did something similar when she appeared in a disturbing Balenciaga campaign featuring kids wearing adult straps. There were several photos showing kids wearing BDSM bondage gear, fishnet tights, leather harnesses, and chains. Also, one of the bears has a bruised purple eye, implying a connection between children and violence. In a few images, children were also surrounded by adult suggestive items such as wine glasses, beer koozies, and ducks. You feel like Kim was comfortable with selling products far-fetched. And from the looks of it, Kanye, Kat, and Eddie also seem to believe it. If any of these allegations are true, then Kanye might want to start fighting for his kids again before he loses them to Kim and her family's alleged antics. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said Kanye chose Kim to be the mother of his children. Well, his new wife be half naked too. So the women in North's life aren't good role models. Period. You don't know what he expected. Just because Kanye may be right about this doesn't mean he's not crazy. He's definitely not wrapped tight, in my opinion. Another person said, what did Kanye think was going to happen when he married Kim K and had children with her? Was he even thinking? If she's like this at 12, how will she be at 16 to 17? I hope everything works out for North. I kind of feel sorry for her. Once you become an adult, those adult realities start hitting you in the face. I wish you were a child. There is no rush to grow up. Be a child while you can. But now, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Kim allegedly selling North? Do y'all really believe the allegations Eddie made about Kim having an agenda to turn North into a second version of herself? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.
Hey, what are you doing?
Finally, the Lithonics dimension.
If summer goes sideways, you can tell it off bat, whether you're on a vacation or a staycation. Get 24/7 care with or without insurance. You can tell it off practically anything. Learn more at teladochealth.com.
Some of my kids are top of their class, and I fully attribute IXL to helping them reach that goal.
People have to stop, man, right? And people don't take spirituality. I'm talking about the realness. I'm talking about the spirit realm. People don't take it serious. And this man, I've never seen anybody want the devil coming upon them. So we're going to watch this, man. This is a documentary that just dropped called The Cursed Man. Well, it's been out a couple months, but I'm just getting privy to it over the last week or two. And this man actually went to voodoo and satanic priests to get curse put on them. That's the most insanest thing I've ever heard on planet Earth. That's the thing that everybody, even an atheist, well, no, obviously he is an atheist, but just listen and listen to the commonality of what these people that are in the pagan realm know more than the church. So
the thing is, too, don't do this. Don't do this. No matter how curious you are, this stuff is real. Don't test it.
Well, it's the fact that he has to thinking that if I don't believe it's real, it's not real. I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm telling people not to test it.
I can believe a water tower is a soda can, but it's still a water tower.
Not to test it.
Every day, people are calling me, contacting me for help who are cursed every day. The norm is to be cursed. And so it sounds without being disrespectful.
Your sister's soul.
It's a good point, and I don't mean to make light of it at all. I feel like I'm looking for something
He doesn't have that kind of power
so that it can grab my attention and give me some understanding of what it is that makes me run this materialistic world.
This
can never defeat me.
And what you're opening yourself up to. Right. Everything.
Oh, I want to sound like an evangelical Christian.
Please
You're really begging the devil to not
It's right.
It's been and every glory comes out of my mouth. It's got in our consciousness.
The universe is already working for that.
It's also I think it's very easy to experience things for ourselves. And that's
so many
for us to
My fear is that
we keep talking.
the reason for it and I can only accept it. In your life, I'm dead now. Now I know that there's something really beyond this. God has not called me to a popular about this. So, just to hold that back, what this man is doing is going
and Louisa.
him to a Satanist, pure spirit, pure Satanist, to curse him because he doesn't believe that curses are real. He believes that a curse can only be for a person that believes that it's from him. He went to this man. This man is actually, this is one of the things I was talking about. This man is pagan. This man doesn't serve God. This man serves multiple gods. But he said some real stuff. First of all, he said, your words. He said, you're already put it out there. So, when you're in the spirit realm is already going to, you have already given them the contractual agreement with your lips that that's what you want to do.
What were you thinking?
So, they're just going to go ahead and let you go ahead and get it ramped because you already told them it's cool to inhabit and be in your space. That was the thing.
And he is is it a voodoo priest?
He's a voodoo priest.
He is a voodoo priest. Telling him that this is insane. Do you know that you could actually end your own life by wanting to this to yourself. He doesn't. Why do you want to test the man? Know this stuff is real. Because you're seeking out these people to do it to you. You just want to see what's going to happen.
Yes.
Why would you want to see what's going to happen? Because when you open that door, you don't control anything. You can't control the repercussions and the consequences once you open the door.
Yep.
That's scary.
You open up contractual agreement in the spirit realm is way bigger. You just have physical eyes, so you can see physical. The spirit realm is more demons assigned to one human being than people you see. So you can't. So and with this man, he opened himself up to this, and then he moved to the next one. And even there's something he said that happened. He was talking to a psychiatrist. Which
I think I need to get some advice on the dangers of what potentially doing to my psyche.
I noticed you're not wearing the purse around your neck right now.
So I was told that it's at its strongest when I'm wearing it around my neck. But either way, it's attached to me and doing its work, regardless. Within about 3 to 4 weeks of going through that experience, I did start to have some very bad dreams. Dreams that were violent, sinister. I had a dream in which I was being held captive. Something was going to torture my hands and make me torture. Being invited. He tried to put my cat to sleep. Stop. And that's really helped me. Yeah.
Touch me again and you're going to find out exactly who I am. Hey, we're at the beaches and our new album, No Cartoons, no Pitches, on TikTok. Thank ya.
Here we go.
There's gotta be an easier way to find a credit card that's right for me. Well, Credit Karma is here to help. You can browse your personalized records, to your approval lines, and make up to Chico. Find a credit card that's right for him on any credit.
Yeah. That was more of for me, speaking out something like that, speaking out dozens potential psychological dangers for me.
Well, I think some of them.
so I don't even need to go into psychological
Real quick, let's
dangers.
bring some context to it because prior to this, he was at the voodoo place, the voodoo priest. He didn't have the curse yet. The man he refused to put the curse on him. He went to a Satanist, which we didn't show that part.
Yeah, because it's not relevant to what was said.
Nonsense and feeling like a coward. It seems beneath
I'm
you.
not going to show the Satans. I'm just showing the hoodoo, and I'm just looking at points of when people of the darkness have said truth.
Right.
So the hoodoo person, which was way darker, said the same thing as the voodoo person.
Right, but the hoodoo is the one who actually puts
The curse on him. And I'm not showing that.
He's the Satan. He's also a Satanist, right?
He wasn't a Satanist, but he's worked for the devil, of course.
Okay. I thought he was part Satanist.
Witch.
Oh, okay. But he was the one that put it on him.
Yeah, and I didn't want to show that because that's too dark. And if you want to look it up for yourself, you can go look that up yourself. A Curse Man video. I actually say pray before you pull it up. But the commonality that the pagans believe, even over the Christians, who now some evangelicals have now moved into a space of wanting to know more spirit realms because that's what you're fighting. Whereas the pagan people are well aware of what's going on in the spirit realm. They know you speak words, you speak those demonic spirits will grab it and hear it and use that. With him, when he said that, he started having dreams, and then it told him that it was going to unalive his pet, and unless he did it himself. That's what happens when you open doors. When you open doors, one of the first things that happens to you, trust me, from a person who had doors open in the spirit
spiritually from pornography and all that stuff in the day, what happens to you is sleep paralysis. That's very one of the first ones. Don't let anybody tell you that that's just a dream. Everybody gets that. No, you only get spirit paralysis when you have an open door that allows us sleep paralysis. When you have an open door that allows them to come in. And then when you start having nasty dreams, to me, not to me, what it is God is showing you what's going on in your life. He's showing you this spirit that's operating. That's what it wants to do, and it wants you to unalive the cat, or because the spirits are there. Y'all have to understand. They know what you value. They can come. Usually, they can come in a room, be in a space. They see you watching that cat. They see you love that cat. If that cat was, you had a cat and it was a baby, they would have been saying something about the baby. Leviticus 20:6 on the NKJV version, it says, "And the person who turns to mediums and familiar spirits to prostitute himself with them, I set my face against that person and I cut off from his people. I consecrate yourself therefore and be holy, for I am the Lord thy God. You shall keep my statute, perform them. I am the Lord who sanctify you. For anyone who curses his father and his mother shall surely be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother. Blood shall be upon him." So if you go prostitute, which you go and he's going in a relationship, so that's what he got bound himself to a relationship to say that what he wants to say is not real. No, that's not what it's
I think he just wants to test him because he's very aware that these people exist. Being aware that right, but you know, aware. Still aware that it exists. But it is your lack of ignorance is what's putting you in a horrible position. Because I must iterate what's wrong. What's the help? I mean, you're no control. What's doing? Those evil demons and spirits in
I message. I see it. Hello, out of all the dark that he saw that now I was going to try Jesus. Because I think he wanted to say it to him, man, and I hope it goes like look at your stuff. So what also showed that it got so dark and the dreams got so worse, especially as he went to the Satanists, and the Satanists did all the nasty dark rituals on him. On top of he's already gone to the hoodoo man who already has put the rituals on him. What you're not seeing on the video, the hoodoo man did a binding that told him that he would hurt his knee, that his legs would be hurt and everything. Story going forward, a couple weeks later he went mountain biking. Wanted to refresh himself. He loved the mountain bike. He would always mountain bike me and mountain bike since he did all this spiritual darkness. And on his first mountain bike, what did he do? Bust his knee while he had health stitches. And that's what the person said, because you found yourself a curse that those demons.
I had read this already. I'm just going through it again.
Said they were going to do to you.
And I know people sound like my father went blind, and now it's my turn. I have a confession to make. Physically, I'm doing great, but my eyes can't keep up anymore. My vision is
say it again.
And it's affecting my whole routine. There are days when I can't read the scripts of
meetings.
And worse, I've already started avoiding driving at night because of the black floaters and glare. I'd already tried stronger glasses, prescription eye drops, expensive supplements, and even considered risky laser surgery, but nothing worked. Every month, my eyesight kept getting worse, no matter what I did. I felt like I'm on the edge. But just when I thought there was no way out, Dr. Thomas Harper, my ophthalmologist, introduced.
It sound like people may think, especially, those who don't believe, or are thinking that this is nothing but, scientific. They want to attach this to subconscious, conscious, things going on in the physical realm, tie stuff to the universe. But it's not that. It is real. It is so real, it's unbelievable.
And one thing what this man doesn't understand with curses, and me and you were talking about this last night. So just because you do it, well, he's already experienced two aspects of it: the psychological, the anxiety, the bad dreams, the sleep paralysis, and then accident.
But what he doesn't understand about the spirit realm and how far you have touched into that is spirits don't operate on your time. Angelic spirits don't operate on your time. They can if God wants them to intervene with them right this now. But demonic spirits, it could be 2 years from now, and then they say, now let's go ahead and come after them while his guard is down. And they're in your life. People have done less in the spirit realm in the darkness and gotten themselves in an unsolved situation. This man don't know what he got into.
Yeah.
And in the video, he went to LA to the Green Man. The Green Man is another holistic, spiritualist, witch, crystal kind of person. They went to the woods and did a ritual to get off the darkness on him. I said, this man is a plumb fool. You went from the devil to the devil.
Well, and he also went to a tantric practitioner in another country.
And he went to the tantric practitioner in India.
For the same reason, to get the curse removed. See, that's the thing. When you are doing that and you have opened the door, you can't go back to the same source that opened it up. You got to call on the only one that truly the name that can save you and reverse this. But then at this point, you have to change your ways and believe in him. You can't just use him like, he's a toy.
Cannot go to that much darkness, even the one that looks disguised as light, and think that you're going to be blessed. No, the voodoo man told you the truth. He said that's dangerous, and he told the crew, please don't tell me that this man come to me and tell me that man is unalive, because that's how it works in the spirit realm. It's contractual, and you don't even have to sign a contract that, like how he did, to sign a contract on the demonic spirit. He signed an open contract. Let me go here and do this. He signed papers to the devil. He did all this, put stuff on altars, all the stuff that you can run from him.
But my thing is, that's why I said, I don't feel like I actually know what's real.
None of it.
But if you're going to these people to do these things, you have to believe that they can do these things because you're going to the right people. You don't want to know priest on the earth. Why would you go to a priest? Why would you go to a pastor? Because that's not, because he already knew that much, that was going to work. So he was aware. I just feel like he went to see what's going to happen. He says he went to the right people to get the person, or to the right person. He went to about 4 or 5 different people, and only one or two. The first couple that he went to, they only did something kind of mild, or they kind of brought him into an incantation. But I don't think they did any curses. They didn't want but I will say this. All of those people told him the same thing. That is not you are really putting yourself in a bad place. Something that you're not going to be able to just come out of. So now what is going to happen? It's just because they went back to the tantric person and to that other end, that it's going to be reversed now. We got to find the story.
There's nothing black folks I didn't see. I didn't look at me like having this conversation about Miss Brown. I just saying, but yeah, you gotta go somewhere and get it all.
Say what?
Worst thing you can do. You can't go back.
I'll go eat it.
You gotta go to Jesus.
I just finished my first place.
Of right man, God, and practice and seek deliverance.
There's only one name above all names on the spirit. You cannot stand for they have to. And Jesus is the only. It's not Muhammad. It's not the witches. It's not the curses. It's not the typically. It's not the voodoo. It's none of that. Those names cannot cast out other spirits. What happens is when you go sign another contract, pretty much to get something off you, you open your door for something else. Maybe maybe the dream slowed down. Maybe now for some odd reason.
You have a bad car accident.
That's what it just. The spiritual realm is deep, bro.
So. We definitely are going to tell you, don't try this at home. Don't do this. Don't do what this guy's done.
Don't do what the guy did.
He's doing it out of, to me, it's stupidity. I want to say stupidity more than anything, because if you're going to these people and you know they do those things, and you're aware, you just don't know what's going to happen, so you want to test it to see.
And you should be surprised all the people I heard under his comments on Instagram saying how good a job he did and praising the man. Said, "Oh, this such and such. He did such a good job." I'm like, bro, y'all just don't understand. For the people that don't come to Christ, how many people are going to hell? Hell to hell. Going to burn. And you think because somebody told you that what y'all doing on the pagan side is not really what it is, it's not all about all that. Yes, it is. You can soften it up. A turd, you can put a dress on a turd, it's still a turd.
Well, great people, what do you think about this? Have you heard of this? Are you following this? If not, this is something definitely to follow his trajectory. I'm going to be looking, watching closely to see over time. And it's going to be, it could be a while. It could be, like you said, immediate, or it could take an extended amount of time, and then something fatal happen. Think about all the artists who wind up going that route.
Yes.
All the artists that we know that have been
Juice WRLD,
put out there,
all them went start dark forces and passed.
that have been put out there.
Nasty.
Proof is out there. It's in video. And what happened?
Gone.
What happened?
All right, y'all. Y'all want to see more like this? Comment down below. Smash that like button. We'll see you on the next one.
Share this video.
Welcome to Star Trek Fleet Command. In this game, you will have to make important strategic decisions that impact your gameplay and player experience. Will you focus on upgrading your warp engines to reach star systems and planets unknown? Will you prioritize upgrading your armaments to deal with threats that might arise? Or will you focus on a more evasive route and build impenetrable shields so you can wander the vast galaxy in peace? Choose wisely and become the captain of your own destiny in Star Trek Fleet Command.
When summer goes sideways, you can tell it off that. Whether you caught air or a cold, get 24 speed.
Pretty much what I expected from the Lithonics dimension.
Oh. Yeah, I'm fine.
What did you do, Direct Nation? All my predictions came true. Marvel Rivals just gave us our first look at Season 4 and our new playable heroes, Daredevil and Angela. The trailer also reveals a pretty massive change coming to Marvel Rivals. Let's take a look first, and then I'll break everything down for you, because there is some insane stuff coming this season. So don't smash that like button to share the news, and let's get it.
The devil had disappeared before false angels.
Like any normal person, chances are you found yourself at least once saying that there just aren't enough hours in the day to do what you need to do, or if only there were two of you. But in the world of Naruto, characters, they don't have this problem because they can just mold chakra and perform ninjutsu to use the shadow clone jutsu to make a physical copy, or in the case of Naruto Uzumaki, thousands of copies of himself when Naruto uses the multi-shadow clone jutsu.
However, there's more to the Shadow Clone Jutsu than just mold some chakra and out pops a physical copy of yourself. And even though there have been multiple videos on YouTube that discuss Shadow Clones, I want to go deeper beneath the surface than just talking about the Jutsu itself. And I want to provide you with new information that pertains to Shadow Clones that if you're an anime-only viewer, or even if you're someone who has read the manga, you might not know this stuff about Shadow Clones unless you are the most hardcore of hardcore Naruto fans. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explain video, where we take an extremely in-depth look into how the Shadow Clone Jutsu works for the new installment of the Ninjutsu Handbook, including interesting facts the anime and manga never told you. Now, let's start off with the really easy and work our way to the newer and more complex aspects of Jutsu. The basic Shadow Clone Jutsu, it is a B-rank Jutsu, being the third highest ranked jutsu a shinobi can learn. Initially, it was a jutsu that was expected to only help a shinobi to know how to perform, since in the Ninja Academy, the students who belong to the beginning are taught how to perform jutsu. This is merely an illusion, whereas Shadow Clones, they are gaining these chakra, and it has a tangible body. However, as we see, even though it's not expected of a Genin to know how to do the Shadow Clone Jutsu, let alone multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, there are shinobi who are talented enough that they can both. When a ninja makes Shadow Clones, it splits their chakra evenly amongst themselves and the number of clones you make. So if you make one Shadow Clone, then you give up half of your chakra to your clone. And if you perform a multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, to say make 3 Shadow Clones, then you split your chakra 25% between yourself and the other 3 clones. Basically, the larger amount of chakra you have, the more Shadow Clones you can make. And so for that reason, the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, it can rapidly deplete the number of jutsu you can perform because it depletes the amount of chakra that a shinobi can use. It's due to that last part that the first Hokage deemed the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu a forbidden jutsu and had it listed in the forbidden jutsu scroll that contains the forbidden jutsu clone saints from the Naruto stolen chapter 1 of the manga itself. It's a reminder Tobirama might have been one of the created the jutsu, but it was Hashirama as Hokage who decided it was a forbidden jutsu. Most people don't have the monster chakra reserves to continuously make and use several Shadow Clones for extended periods of time. The way we see Naruto casually making hundreds of clones, because it requires a few amounts of chakra, and Naruto just happens to have access to the Nine-Tails chakra, which is mixing into his own chakra pool, thus enabling fusion. Due to Shadow Clones being physical, that's the key distinction between them and the basic clone jutsu Academy students learn. Shadow Clones go on their own, they have independent thoughts and will, but the drawback is that when the Shadow Clone is dispelled or destroyed, the fatigue and knowledge gained by the clone, as well as any remaining chakra that was unused, they're all transferred back to their original user's body, which is part of why the jutsu is forbidden. It's a lot easier to die from exhaustion this way. Another thing about the Shadow Clone Jutsu is that even though it can make an identical copy of the user himself, there are other small details that the trained eye can catch if they are paying close enough attention to spot it if they're facing a Shadow Clone. Now, for the most part, if you make a Shadow Clone and you have a kunai, then your Shadow Clone will have a kunai and the weapons that you have, but there are exceptions to this. Things like the two secret orbs that someone who's using 6-pass chakra as a 10-tails Jinchuriki, their Shadow Clones will not manifest in the secret orbs, only the original have them, as shown in Naruto chapter 675, and in the Naruto era, as shown in chapter 22 of Naruto Next Generations. Certain types of technology can't be duplicated by the clone either. Now, there are other subtle drawbacks to the Shadow Clone Jutsu as well. Originally in Naruto chapter 100, we see Shadow Clones can even fool people who have a Jutsu, since Naruto's Shadow Clones would originally fool Neji's Byakugan, and he couldn't tell which was Naruto at first glance by looking at him, and he had to assess Naruto's attack patterns to find Naruto. But by Naruto chapter 601, we see that the Rinnegan is different. Madara knew right away by looking at the Shadow Clone Naruto that it was a Shadow Clone because the Rinnegan Now, if you're an anime fan of the series, you might be going, wait a second, this is a gotcha moment, and you might say, Naruto's playing Sasuke's Sharingan. You can see Naruto was using the Shadow Clone in the original Naruto Part 1, but this is an error that was made by Studio Pierrot in the anime itself. That scene is an anime only, and it directly contradicts the manga as well as future episodes of the anime. The other drawback to using Shadow Clones is durability. Depending on how hard they get struck, they get destroyed pretty easily, but as the series goes on, we see that the user grows stronger, and as they grow stronger, their Shadow Clones become more durable. Hence, Naruto had dozens of clones, fighting on several battles during the Fourth Ninja War, sustaining injuries, and still fighting while the clones dispersing. As previously stated, when Shadow Clones do disperse, you get more than just fatigue, but also the memories of the clone, which makes them ideal for stealth missions to gather intel in hostile areas. But if your chakra pool is large enough, like say Naruto, you can use Shadow Clones to get several years of training done in a short period of time. This is how Naruto completed the Change in Chakra Nature drill training for Wind Release, which was said to take 6 months of training just to learn how to cut the meat. And it took years of Change in Chakra Nature drill training for most shinobi to achieve a Change in Chakra Nature. Yet Naruto did it in only a few days. Shadow Clones also have another drawback in that they are deeply connected to the user spiritually. As shown when Naruto is feeling pain of the Nine-Tails chakra, all of his Shadow Clones reacted to the pain as well, as shown in Naruto chapter 277. Keeping in line with the spiritual side, which is Yin Chakra, Shadow Clones also have another drawback when it comes to Yin-related things, so basically thinking and meditation. When carrying out tasks that require intense concentration, it doesn't matter if you can make 1,000 Shadow Clones like Naruto. It doesn't matter if you make 10,000 Shadow Clones. If you're being forced to concentrate heavily, the clones are capped at the number you can make based on how much attention is being focused on your current task. So we see this when the Edo Tensei Hokage are using a barrier to contain the Ten-Tails. Every Kage who tried to make a Shadow Clone, they were limited while concentrating on keeping the barrier up. So Minato could only make 1 clone. Hashirama could only make 4 clones. Tobirama could only make 2 clones in Naruto chapter 637. And in Naruto chapter 434, Naruto, who isn't particularly good at yin-related things like meditation and studying, he had a limit for the number of Shadow Clones he could make that could sit still and meditate to gather such energy. By his own words, making too many Shadow Clones will distract them when trying to gather nature energy, which is why he was capped at 3 Shadow Clones on the battlefield and a certain number at Mount Miyamoto. So in the Naruto era, and the Boruto novel written by the Boruto writer Dachi, which is based off of Kishimoto's movie script, as well as a couple of other novels set in the Boruto era, it makes it clear that Naruto still has problems with clones, even when it's not gathering nature energy. He's just better at it. Having clones going out to carry the Hokage duties around the village, hold several conversations, which Naruto is not so skilled, which Naruto is now so skilled with Shadow Clones. He is 100% aware of what his clones are saying and doing in real time, that it adds to his mental fatigue, which makes it harder for Naruto aware of every conversation his Shadow Clones are having all around the village. And for someone like Naruto, who was never the best when it came to knowledge-based stuff, this is an absolute nightmare. However, let's go even deeper here, and let's look at some of the more unexplored things regarding the Shadow Clone Jutsu that I haven't seen.
Watch live sports of the latest shows. Exclusive live streaming television says the best live streaming provider for customer satisfaction. And more than capable is the data YouTube TV. Try it free. Terms and conditions anytime.
And so it's trying to finish up dinner or something crazy happened on the end.
I don't know, there's this crazy deal going on right now where in the middle of this plus month for $10.99 a month. Yeah, Sam told me about it. I got these signed.
No, I still can't find it. I circled back. Haven't seen over too much if at all. Like, for instance, the whole concept of shadow clones is literally a love letter to the story Journey to the West, a classic Chinese story that inspired Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball, but also shows some cards like the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The way that Sun Wukong used his version of Shadow Clones is similar to how Naruto uses for conversions and trickery and confusion-based tactics against his enemies. However, let's go even deeper into the real-life ninja inspirations, the Japanese folklore, and the spiritual concepts of Buddhism and Shintoism. So, the real-life ninja tactics are as follows. The idea of creating multiple versions of oneself aligns with historical ninja, shinobi basically, in terms of deception tactics. So, real ninjas use Kage Jutsu to mislead enemies. Some of these methods included misdirection and disguises, because ninjas were known to disguise themselves monks, peasants, and even enemy soldiers to confuse their pursuers. In real life, ninjas and warlords would use shadow warriors or body doubles to deceive enemies to attack targets. A famous historical example is Ida Shingen, who used a body double to deceive his enemies. Also, you have psychological warfare. So, ninjas use tricks like moving torches or footprints in multiple directions to make it seem like they're invulnerable. Basically, make it seem like those are shadow clones. These are real-life tactics to mirror how guards or other characters use shadow clones. They do so to trick their opponents and gain an advantage in battle. You get into the Shinto and Buddhist inspirations, it's really interesting. So, the concept of shadow clones connects to the religious and mythological themes of Japan. The religious aspect of Buddhism is the illusion of multiplicity. So, Buddhism teaches that reality is transient and often illusionary. The idea of creating clones can symbolize the illusion of life itself, which aligns with the Buddhist philosophy. Avatars with a single essence. In Buddhist mythology, enlightened kings can manifest multiple forms in order to guide different people. This resembles how Naruto splits his chakra amongst his clones. You also have the Jizo-Batsu parallel. So Jizu, a Buddhist deity, is said to create countless copies of himself to help separate beings in different realms. Naruto, he uses shadow clones to train, scout, and fight multiple places at once. That reflects this idea. That's why Naruto had dozens of shadow clones. Now, you get into the Shinto portion of it, the power of shadows and spirits is also there as well. So, Shinto kami, they exist in nature. The concept of shadow clones it links to doppelgangers in Shinto lore. Japanese folklore speaks of living spirits that can leave a person's body and act independently, much like how shadow clones can be manifested in somebody's chakra and act independently. Shadows are also extensions of the soul in Shinto. Shadows and reflections were sometimes considered to hold a spiritual essence, paralleling how shadow clones contain part of the user's chakra. This makes even more sense when you look into some of the folklore, because Naruto is based off of like the fox period, and foxes play tricks. Foxes have also made doubles of themselves in some of the folklore. Other Japanese folklore include several stories about beings or warriors duplicating themselves. You have traditional ninja legends that mention techniques where ninjas could leave behind wooden logs or illusions to escape. That's why you see the substitution jutsu in Naruto, for example. You also have the Tengu and shapeshifters, Tengu being mythical bird-like creatures who lead to possess magical skills, including cloning themselves and fighting against samurai. You also have Kojiki and dual selves. In Japanese oldest chronicles, gods like Susanoo and Amaterasu, they created duplicates or illusions of themselves, a divine parallel to shadow clones in those stories. In conclusion, Naruto's shadow clone jutsu takes inspiration from historical ninja deception, Buddhist beliefs about multiple existences and Shinto ideals of spirits and shadows. The technique, it blends real-world tactics with spiritual and mythical concepts, making it one of the most symbolic and thematically rich abilities in the Naruto franchise. And hopefully, after this video, you have a deeper appreciation for the next time you see Naruto performing the multi-shadow clone jutsu. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and checking out more videos here from Naruto Explained, or clicking over here to check out videos from my Anime Explained channel, where I talk about non-Naruto.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having. The air inside the federal courtroom felt heavy, almost suffocating, as though everyone's breath had been stolen and locked away, with the secrets about to unfold. Cameras weren't allowed inside, but it didn't matter. Millions of eyes were fixed on them.
Black people work too hard to become Black Americans in this society, and we were slaves here, and we did a lot of free work.
Less than 2% of white Americans own slaves.
Really, I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who was the beneficiary of slavery.
It makes sense to me that someone like Jillian Michaels would say something.
The end game of Ultra Instinct is one of the most highly anticipated parts of the journey in Dragon Ball Super. Akira Toriyama's plans for Ultra Instinct may shock the world when we eventually get to that point of the story. Of course, Toyotaro is the main man drawing and implementing ideas into the manga on the go, but Toriyama's notes in Dragon Ball Super are no doubt the core of Super's story, and I believe he's got many more left over, because now we are going to look at the official information in Dragon Ball Super manga itself to dissect what Goku is aiming for with his Ultra Instinct exactly. Now, can Ultra Instinct be mastered by those of the Saiyan race? It's not just for Saiyans, as well know. Now, despite what some believe, MUI, or Mastered Ultra Instinct, isn't truly mastered. Sure, the activation of the form, even in the form of the power, can be classed as complete, but it wasn't even mastered overall at the start of the Granola arc, due to there being a number of flaws still with it, such as accuracy and stamina. Even if Goku could activate it at will, you could say after the Moro battle, Goku had mastered the activation of Ultra Instinct, but not the form itself. Similar to Goku becoming Super Saiyan on Namek, he quickly mastered how to become Super Saiyan, but it wasn't until the Time Chamber where he mastered the usage of the form. So yes, a Saiyan can master Ultra Instinct entirely, but the real question is, what type of Ultra Instinct? Even though nothing has been confirmed yet, I'm going to explain the official lore we've got, along with my theory on why I believe this is going to happen this way. I'm 99% sure this is it, and I know you'll love this, scholars, so be sure to hear me out all the way through. Like I said, I know you'll love this. As we all know, during the events of Granola, in the end phase of that arc, right before Goku went into True Ultra Instinct, Goku admitted his struggle with Ultra Instinct in general whilst talking to Whis. In this conversation, headed to Manito's house, Whis made interesting points about Goku using Ultra Instinct. Despite the fact he executed the Silver UI very well against Moro, Goku wasn't going to get much further with Ultra Instinct after the Granola battle unless he went down a very specific path, a very unique path that is different from the one he's been trying to mimic from Whis' Ultra Instinct, that being Tranquil in the base form.
If you know TV, you have YouTube TV. Join millions of TV lovers and build the 100 plus live channels. YouTube TV. Try it free. It's fun anytime.
Let's try this.
In the base form. You see, it's impossible for Goku to master Ultra Instinct properly if he continues to use it in the way that he does, despite Goku training at the start of the Granola arc and trying to utilize UI in his base form. In other Super Saiyan forms, Goku still showcased a problem with trying to do that. And even Vegeta told Goku that he overdoing it trying to use UI in his base form, when he could keep it simple and just become Super Saiyan 1 knowledge. Case in point, Goku using UI not as a transformation, but in general, is a struggle of Goku that it's recently thought that he's still having a lot of trouble with UI and the results of it earlier training methods, that he cannot keep his heart calm the way Whis does with Ultra Instinct. Whis makes it clear it's a different plane for Goku, and in order to make his UI better, he needs to stop trying to mimic Whis' unique style and instead listen to the voice within himself to create his own Ultra Instinct, his unique one, by asking himself an important question deep down. What are you really? Goku questioned himself with, what am I? This immediately cuts to the knife when the next panel shouted, hey, you son of Bardock, which is a conveniently timed bit of dialogue to shake Goku as he says, he is deep down. Of course it was to continue the story, but it's as if Toyotaro gave a hint about who Goku is deep down. He's the son of Bardock, he's a Saiyan, not a god, not an angel. The voice Whis is talking about deep down was a good old-fashioned Saiyan. The training of the gods and angels. That's Goku, and that's the difference between him and Whis. And of course the Granola arc is about Bardock as well, and that fire and emotion in his eyes during battle. That's what Gas was Goku. Different than Bardock. Now originally, before Goku traveled down the god path right at the start of Whis' training with Super Saiyan God, we said that if Goku and Vegeta trained the old way, they would only get so far, meaning God training was a necessity to raise their game to a new level. Goku continued on that path and fixated on Whis' teachings about Ultra Instinct to get so far, but now to the point he hit a roadblock unless he takes the wheel of his own training and combine that training of the gods with the past. Like Saiyan, I personally love that approach, because Goku is definitely Saiyan, he has to have that's the basis of the video. It's become tranquil. The problem is like the gas. That's making the story with Ultra Instinct slide just the right balance emotions with it contain even large power. Previously we considered it may seem against Jiren, however, next rated UI proves that Goku's emotions and natural Saiyan battle state, combined with UI, offers a greater result than what you can do against Jiren with a power. It's just that Ultra Instinct side, the only state that you can show those emotions to in the most power right now. Goku's way of life is his martial arts, but his instincts and emotion. From that down to the core and cells of his very being, as Reese would put it, earthly or martial artist, he'll always be a monkey. It's important to note that there's a
Well, the centers are unruly. It's officially revealed and expanded on that when a Saiyan's heart is beaten in battle, their Saiyan instincts awaken, and that is how Broly captured the character great game base, that old school Saiyan heart. It said Super Saiyan is rage getting the Saiyan's heart going, and when we saw what never did Goku, they showed that heart light on his chest, which is also stated to be officially connected to Uzaru, the director of the episode where Goku's new Super Saiyan form was awakened for the first time, mentions the red glow near Goku's heart represents Uzaru Goku. It's a supercharged Super Saiyan, the same effect that causes Super Saiyan and even the Saiyan instincts to come out at 11 times more. Predators don't leave for their knowledge and gather in that information, but it's very important to consider when thinking about final Ultra Instinct and Goku's own unique version with what he is deep down, and how tranquility and calmness aren't going to generate the strongest results for Kakarot. As I said, his Saiyan name, you saw what I did there. So back to the story of Goku. He hit a roadblock whilst talking to Whis during the gas fight because he's not the same being as Whis, who can easily remain tranquil at all times, and pretty much is in a state that suppresses so many emotions most of the time. Yes, he steps in poop and gets excited over ice cream. Whis does have his own language, and saying it's a state that he can naturally be in, but isn't restricted if he really wants. Goku, on the other hand, needs those emotions and fire up hard to get the best out of UI, which is obviously by finding his own unique UI. It's not a universal state limited to a calm heart. That's just one possibility. It may work for somebody else, but not a Saiyan. The pride of the Saiyans during battle, Bardock versus Gas, which no doubt had made Bardock's heart anything but calm in that moment to make him come back. And it's the invigorated, stimulated state that Goku was in during Ultra Instinct Sign that brings out better results. Another question is, what comes next? In the fight with Beast Gohan on Beerus' planet, Goku is using the Silver-haired Ultra Instinct, but he's not at his maximum capability, and his restless Saiyan state wasn't present whilst training his son. So in my opinion, I feel like we've yet to see Goku utilize his exhilarating dark state with his Silver UI potential, and I also believe that Beerus may get his but with Goku's highest battle against Gohan was due to his lack of knowledge of Goku's discovery and jumping UI against Gas. Even when he stood up after Goku was shot by Black Frieza, we stated that Beerus can't figure out how to make some food, meaning there's a big chance they missed the entire truth alternates. Like, here's my theory on what comes next, and I think we've got a massive ready on Spartan for adults 45 and under to reiterate the vaccination act. I like it. The employee sexually active in that vaccine is for those who don't fear the virus, antibodies to certain
Gardasil 9 is a vaccine given to adults through age 45 that can help protect against certain HPV-related cervical, vaginal, vulvar, anal, and certain hereditary cancers such as throat and back and mouth cancers and genital warts.
Gardasil 9 doesn't protect everyone, it doesn't treat cancer or infection. These may have different causes.
Your doctor may recommend screening for certain HPV-related cancers. Routine cervical cancer screenings are still needed. You shouldn't get Gardasil 9 if you're allergic to the vaccine, its ingredients, or use. Tell your doctor that your immune system are pregnant or family.
The most common side effects include injection-site reactions, headache, fever, nausea, dizziness, tiredness, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and sore throat. Fainting can also happen.
You don't look at yourself with certain HPV-related cancers without the system.
Touch me again and you're going to find out exactly who I am. Hey, the other thing is, and I think I'll no hard feelings stuff now. Listen to it on TikTok. Thank
It should be noted that Vegeta mentions Ultra Instinct seems to work best when used in conjunction with Super Saiyan form, but it was the opposite for some I've gone on physically and mentally with a combination of forms and style of UI, but apparently UI state feels more at home when Goku has transformation active. This is extremely important bit of information that sets up Goku's final Ultra Instinct level I can use. Because one of the differences between Goku's base form and his transformations outside of the power and aesthetics. The difference is his heart is in his calmest base form, but it's stated in multiple guides that when a Saiyan undergoes transformation, his emotions surge and then becomes faster and is stimulated once again in those transformed states, resulting in a Saiyan's power being greater. So when realizing Goku his emotions and harm better with UI sign and be stronger instead of trying to suppress them in a calm silver UI, that makes perfect sense why aspects of the Ultra Instinct state work better in conjunction with Goku's Super Saiyan forms. He's been tripping over his own feet this whole time by battling against his own true nature. He's trying to be extremely calm and focused in states that thrive on being stimulated. So, in God of Blue, he was doing well with Ultra Instinct to some extent, without knowing why exactly. But now after True UI, Goku finally understood the assignment. Saiyans are an emotional-based race. Whis is not. And when Goku fully embraces being a Saiyan, the divine being will awaken full power. So the question is, what form would Goku be most invigorated in as a Saiyan, and which form in Goku's current arsenal Dragon Ball Super is the form that is the most Saiyan-like form? The answer would be Daima's Super Saiyan 4 transformation, because it is linked to Dragon Ball Super as we see the lore of Super in Daima, and I can explain why exactly that is the case, despite Super Saiyan 4 being a weaker transformation than Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, from what I've seen. What we must realize is, in order to create Super Saiyan God, we need Goku's base form plus Divine Ki control. That creates the Super Saiyan God transformation. So just think of it like ingredients. Super Saiyan Blue is the result of having Divine Ki control plus Super Saiyan 1. Goku currently in Ultra Instinct with a silver hair, he needs base form. Goku needs Divine Ki control because it's still God Ki, plus no other Super Saiyan transformations active, so essentially his base form is the foundation, plus a complete calm and tranquil heart with suppressed emotion, plus instinctual surge. That's Silver Ultra Instinct. However, for True Ultra Instinct, which is a stronger version of Sign, and currently stronger Goku's calm Silver UI, is essentially, as I say, base form foundation, plus stronger Divine control, plus stimulate the heart, higher mental state, plus instinctual movement. When Goku combines Ultra Instinct with Super Saiyan God against Granola, he doesn't combine the raw power of Divine Ki, because it wasn't any stronger than regular Super Saiyan God. Only combined the instinctual movements to make it Super Saiyan God Ultra Instinct against Granola, essentially being base form plus Divine Ki control plus incomplete instinctual movement. As we all know, Super Saiyan God is a Saiyan with Divine Ki control. That's why his hair looks exactly the same as base form. Where does Super Saiyan 4 come into this? Well, again, think of ingredients and think of Super Saiyan Blue. If we switched out Super Saiyan 1 for Super Saiyan 4 in the Super Saiyan Blue mix-up, the transformation of Goku would become a stronger transformation as Goku has increased the Super Saiyan level in that mix by 3 forms. It's a different outcome with power. It might not be blue, it might be some other color. Let's think of it as a hypothetical Super Saiyan 4. So what does this have to do with the invigorated heart of Goku? Well, if a Super Saiyan is a result of Goku's heart becoming more hyper in combat, Super Saiyan 4 is the beginning of that exciting state of a Saiyan with more power. But Super Saiyan God of Blue requires Goku to become calm and tranquil, especially in the Kaioken. This is why he said he's able to do it, because he's already learning how to get it that high as a Super Saiyan by mastering it like these Cell games. It's all about control and tranquility. Plus, using Ki and Divine Blade as a Super Saiyan God of Blue would require Goku to precise and concentrate power rather than being in that excited state with emotions. This is why aesthetically it's tranquility to emphasize that control of oneself and not portrayed like upbeat yellow like regular Super Saiyan forms. Regular Super Saiyan God is that color cleanse like power with the same principles apply in that it's more about control and excellence. As such, Super Saiyan 4 being the strongest non-God Ki state that Goku has, it's also the most Saiyan-like form of aesthetic transformation of himself. Yes, the form of Uzaru, because it's all about Uzaru, the way he transforms its state. It's in a more euphoric form. This means that when combining God terms in this form, it will automatically result in a stronger variant of Super Saiyan by a large magnitude. And that's without the Ultra Instinct. Super Saiyan 4 is able to Saiyan state, that being the furthest away from being calm and tranquil, then the only method to enhance Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Instinct is to give into the instinctual emotions that truly fight against cats. Think about it. Emotions and the exciting heart into a version of UI, and the one grants a monstrous boost even without the silver hit active, what better way than Goku combining Divine Ki and Ultra Instinct terms with the Super Saiyan 4 to make Goku in his most comfortable state of battle and most natural emotions. What we call MUI, which again is massive, He says no transformation would go to his hands. Silver State in a different form, a different way than being calm and tranquil. The Silver UI we see now could be the calm and tranquil version, but perhaps there's another that creates a whole new Silver variant from combining his emotions with his state, making it complete and full version. He's trying to put it. Now, remember what he said, he was able to keep down the feeling.
Your back. Hey, down. Are we being done? Hey, take out. Good. Another reason. You can I just see it. Are you being thinking about here? I'm used to say that. That's fun to get serious. That's it. Quiet. Also, I'd like to add that in practice, the active version also created in the same transformation to act. What's the same? Now you have to give it the same you're done. The challenge now for and it came is none other than an action. I believe that I am fancy. I fell down the combination right down and maybe like I said, we can stand that means that now it's my turn. Like these to never find because he can never do what Whis can do. That's my prediction. Goku's true mastered Ultra Instinct will be his primal Saiyan nature, the canon Super Saiyan 5. And just think of the marketing. Who wouldn't want to buy Super Saiyan 5 Goku? This is just my Dragon Ball theory. If it doesn't happen, happy days. But if it does happen, very happy days.
Everybody go snow snap on the chili. That's what we do in South America. Let's go. What was that?
Weekday mealtime. We need something fast and delicious and affordable. Hey, that new taco spot is on DoorDash. And it's in budget. For a Wednesday, great deals delivered.
What were you thinking?
Vegeta and Future Trunks went into the Spirit of Time. They went in first in order to train and break the Super Saiyan Wall, come out stronger than ever in hopes of defeating the android threat at the time. As we are all very well aware, Vegeta and Trunks both ascended, both being one of the Grade Super Saiyan Grade 2 and 3. And although Vegeta used Grade 2 against Cell, he knew the speed and stamina issues with using Grade 3, which is why he didn't focus on it. Trunks, on the other hand, went balls deep against Cell and tested the Grade 3, which was a complete failure. However, after the failure to defeat Cell, Vegeta and Trunks returned to the lookout and wait for the return of Goku and Gohan from the Ruthless Spirit of Time. And to everyone's shock, they leave much earlier and did spend the whole year inside. Now, bearing in mind, before everyone entered the time chamber, you can argue that Vegeta was stronger than Goku based on certain dialogue, but typically the fandom likes to see Goku and Vegeta around the same level of Super Saiyan power before they both entered the training. Also, with Future Trunks, I believe it's implied that his Super Saiyan power was not the same levels as Goku or Vegeta during the early android fights. But Goku and Gohan had left the time chamber showcasing a mastery of Super Saiyan, which when fully powered up would be referred to as the Mastered Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Grade 4, and in order to achieve this, Goku and Gohan had learned how to stay transformed as a regular Super Saiyan 24/7, or at least when they are awake. Not focusing on the Grade 2 or 3 variants, but strictly focusing on the basic Super Saiyan mastery, which in turn made Goku and Gohan overcome the wild emotional roller coaster of being a Super Saiyan, as well as conserving a ton of stamina when fighting as a Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan had pretty much become their new base. Coming out of the time chamber, Vegeta and the others speculated what is going on. Vegeta couldn't even feel their energy, but the question none of them asked is, how do they do it? So then we would learn Vegeta and Future Trunks would both go inside the time chamber for another year, where Goku made it pretty clear he would not be going back in with Gohan. To everyone's shock, he mentioned this by going in there stresses the body like torture. That's not actually training. But after Vegeta comes out from another trip, the Academy at least, Piccolo mentions Vegeta has been stronger, but it's still not enough. In the Japanese original, I believe Piccolo just told them, and then goes back to Genesis to say, big deal, not impressed. Now, based on their performance in the Cell game, Vegeta and Future Trunks both revealed on a simple level of power. It would be hard to tell the difference between them, but both fall far short of Goku and Gohan in their Super Saiyan forms, despite going in the time chamber a second time. So where did it all go wrong for Vegeta and Trunks? Why could they not achieve the Mastered Super Saiyan Grade 2, or not even rival Goku and Gohan in terms of raw power at least, after good old-fashioned raw Saiyan punishment training? Despite their power going in the second time was far greater than themselves and Goku going in the first time. Now, first of all, we all know the main reason for Goku and Gohan getting stronger ready for the Cell games, and that was for the plot. To allow Goku and Gohan to have their big fights with Cell, seeing as Vegeta and Trunks already had them. Going into trade for a second time, Vegeta had a few main goals. Surpass Kakarot because it's Android Saga Vegeta, also to defeat Cell, and finally to get stronger because he's a Saiyan Prince with insecure pride issues. You would assume his motivation was there. It was. So seeing Kakarot in this tranquil state, seemingly mastering the Super Saiyan power to rest, this time to annoy Vegeta. Kakarot has done it again. But even though he realized it was a way to get stronger, being the Prince and wanted to do things his own way, you could bet the reason number one Vegeta didn't achieve this master Super Saiyan was because he did not want to copy Kakarot due to his pride. This was the result of Kakarot's training. In his head, he would not succumb or seek that way of training like him. He wants results his own way, and you could see Vegeta going about his training his way, in a very stubborn way, being ignorant to what really counts as training, and that was the focus on conserving power and mastering the state of being a Super Saiyan, focusing on being a great all-round fighter, not just becoming very strong. I like that theme for the Cell games. Even though just getting stronger is the win condition, but I still like that theme. Vegeta went into the time chamber to train the same way he always does, in believing that would be enough to get another big increase like he did the first time around. However, he was wrong. Despite getting somewhat stronger, the increase was not as impactful as the first time, and this could lead to another reason at that time for Vegeta, and that was his actual raw power potential was probably maxed out during that time in terms of training like a brute. If he kept training like he was, raising his power like a grade 2 or 3, he's going to just raise raw brute power, but in terms of being an all-round fighter, an efficient fighter, there was so much more to it, that the story was implied at that time, not just brute power, and also the story just generally hyping up Gohan's hidden potential like it's the best of the lot of them. Dragon Ball Z's story focused on that since day one. Anyway, Vegeta wanted to get strong his way, but it failed to surpass the way Kakarot trained. Maybe Vegeta tried a different way to get stronger, but that failed. Being proud here was a big weakness. Which leads us to this reason, the actual practice and technique of being able to master Super Saiyan, where Vegeta may have not at that time been able to do it. Think about it. Tranquil and Android Saga Vegeta do not go hand in hand. Vegeta had a massive chip on his shoulder, his anxiety was he was angry, he was irritable, he just wanted to rage out and get strong. Let's say Vegeta did try to master Super Saiyan whilst in the time chamber. The way he transformed is through a lot of self-hatred and general anger. To put a lid on all of that would take Vegeta a lot more effort than it would take Goku. Remember, Goku had trained on Yardrat. Sure that his spirit had been able to pull out Namek, being able to battle with the Mountain Peak as cows are still lake. Goku was the type of warrior who had inner peace, and mastering Super Saiyan would come second nature to him. I was probably an extension of what he learned on Yardrat, because we all know he was ready to ascend the moment he woke up from the hard virus issue. For Vegeta to stay in a state of his magnet Super Saiyan, this would be extremely difficult, so perhaps he did actually try inside the time chamber, when he realized this way of growing was just not for him, and that it would take far too long to get used to it. He probably would have resorted back to his old, raw, basic principles. So another reason I want to bring up is the fact that Goku and Gohan worked together, whereas Vegeta and Trunks did not. Goku and Gohan going into the training of mastering Super Saiyan would both have had similar kind-hearted natures, which is a bonus, but both would be able to support each other and keep each other motivated to make sure they did their best every day to stay in that form as long as possible when it felt like they were about to give up. You could also argue because two Saiyan potentials would train against each other, this would grow their power much faster than if one trained alone, similar to how Vegeta and Trunks trained alone. Just two Saiyans like each other passively, go into battle every day in one time trip would have been more than enough for 2 solo trips, which makes you wonder, what if Vegeta and Trunks worked together, battled together daily and actually supported each other rather than they being a distance between them? It makes you wonder character-wise anyway, if they had the potential as much as Goku and Gohan, which they obviously did in the bloodlines, but and it makes you wonder, what if Goku and Gohan went to the second time, but maybe at that point of the story, they played both of them and hit their raw power anyway. Being a simple hyper-addiction of Gohan and unquestionably having far more motivation than a Pikachu, we also need because they trusted him to achieve magic Super Saiyan now, even Super Saiyan 2. This usually also mostly due to training alone and being someone that actually very good training experience in history, as well as something very expensive. Think about it, you understood a guy who had it. Gohan. Ever since then, he ran away and hid every day of his life, and somebody between things, big sword chops here and there, and about a really beautiful train this guy had, and the only time of the train intensity for your time ago was just while the train was at the time chamber. When you think about it, they just pick up on the fish and trying to learn something from someone hot-headed and angry. Vegeta is no longer defensive, learning, Trunks went into the country for a second time, no one training experience. Probably just trained in a training procedure just like before. Imagine Goku went to the country and the story for Trunks figures out this hybrid is going to be. In a nutshell, Vegeta and Trunks trained harder, Gohan trained smarter. Those two didn't know how to properly train, and Goku did. This is the key difference between Vegeta and Gohan, even as a child, rarely encountered anyone with what Goku felt like force. He neither wanted, he didn't try, and had access to any people to guide him. Most of what he knows is self-control, meditation, and how to himself to act in some future mental weeks. When all week and in his early years, he had many brains, life, frankly, essentially himself in his game, learning from others, and was presenting teachers. He was also fortunate in having many good teachers, good not only at fighting, but also good at teaching. Trunks had the misfortune of not having access to good teachers. As all decent candidates were dead in his timeline, the training from Gohan was minimal. You might notice that when Goku and Gohan were training, Goku used his knowledge to bring out Gohan's hidden potential, and then used Gohan as an effective training partner to bring out his own strength. Like I said, Trunks and Vegeta didn't get that much training time together. Vegeta ignored Trunks most of the time, and this reduced the effectiveness of their training and was a much less efficient way of exploiting their inner Saiyan growth abilities. And this is a popular theme in Goku and Vegeta's rivalry. Vegeta works much harder and trains much more intensely than Goku, but still doesn't catch up. But that is because Goku trains much more efficiently, because he has been taught how to train, and he is humble enough to accept the help of others to follow the instructions he remembers. Vegeta in his pride is love and peace.
Take this. Never provided. If you're doing more than guaranteed crash, down to the price of an item. Maybe the never. Kroger.
We're being charged.
You can handle that, right?
In the Sound Saga, it found the Sound Game, Sunset Girl, Sunset Jada, White Fans, Sing, Number 1, and Nancy, and by the majority of casual fans, which are every after they finish their first run, say, from it's a fancy partner, and I can see why they would say that it's itself and they fail and enemy guys in itself basically breaks the real back in it. This way to transfer up having itself is bad, and then here and there, all that makes it out and an ending matchup in the Ghost from Tomorrow episode. Eventually, it's so bad, like battle against itself it looked that way, right? And to some extent, Trunks did battle against itself. It is even more true than Trunks' display of how unreal Vegeta's extreme power and might of lightning through the same reason. Whereas Vegeta plays his big power so intense, yes, keep Vegeta in that battle, and the reason for that was the transformation that ascended his moves, which if he did himself with it, it would hurt. Now, Vegeta great Trunks battle himself with Vegeta dead and completely different power. Vegeta, there's no evil stronger than Vegeta as Goku's character in terms of their potential. Anime manga writing is specifically stated after Trunks failed himself. It's stated Vegeta David killed without you. But the show don't do it. That's very important. No credit. But the show don't do it. That's what's insane about the sound. However, it's the understand that Vegeta don't use it how many fans are trying to misunderstand this and still think it's the some even think Vegeta could not obtain the Ultra in other words, the sun in all the comparisons how big his power will be in comparison to Trunks, and that's where you take the game. Take this and items. Yes, the vital and potential, and that itself. First of all, this complete of the misconception of when Trunks and Trunks saying green, some people think big green when you initially come out, when it's completely a plan for it to open its tail launched out of the line. It's 100% not confused. And actually, the MSC point first of all, the blocker is white, utter done. But it was quite someone that anime after this moment. They're on like you went powered up where it's so bad that it's just continuously get bigger and bigger, ridiculously in size. It's ridiculous. Like a little bit, now a little bit of combat now again. Just a bit. A bit of energy effect, but the low detail being those like that when you power up way from there, but just raise his power still we see it with the night like this man just raise that up, but that's the next fight schedule himself, because he never had Trunks missing punches and looked completely
completely out of breath, he would turn around, face south, then power up again. The electricity finally appeared, showing us that during the times he's missing and getting tired, his power is actually limited. He has to get a second wind and power up again, if that makes sense. Like real life. We would train and doing sprints. After a few sprints, we would take that recovery window to breathe, gather our strength, power back up and explode again for the next sprint. This is how Trunks engaged himself while still being in grade 3, because he needed all the power he could get, but it was literally sucking him dry. He was wheezing more than wheezing. Now, why was he grade 3 when his hair first spiked up? Well, it's simple. Up until that point, Trunks was talking to Krillin about how he believed he surpassed Vegeta in the Time Chamber and unlocked the power beyond Super Vegeta's level. Obviously, he was dead wrong about this, but at this moment, Krillin was encouraging Trunks to use this drastic Super Saiyan form. And after Trunks powered up, Krillin was completely shocked, and so was Cell. They had never seen this form before, and this strengthens that Trunks had become grade 3 at this point, not grade 2, because Cell or Krillin wouldn't be shocked at seeing the same form as Super Vegeta. They'd already seen that form, and by Krillin's analysis of Trunks' power-up, it was precisely at Trunks had become this.
I've been itching for this fight. I won't fall for tricksy tactics.
It was even rated as power, which is above power. And just to debunk this real quick, about the right to get the light Trunks in the holding bag and broke through barriers of the universe, we know that the fact that myself was something of light, that Vegeta did do it, that led to which is what but now he doesn't see Vegeta so we can't theory make Trunks Vegeta, but now we know when Trunks came to grade 3, we know exactly when he's in grade 2 now, so let us analyze grade 2. Let's get Cell and when he came in to find out grade 2. Now it's asking when Trunks actually went grade 2 the first time, so say it again Cell. When Vegeta went Cell, I'm pretty sure Trunks started there, now when he's visually, he doesn't look at me like Super Vegeta, so he's still a great and there's that he was able to run Cell and affect his attack. But however, Cell is that way. Trunks' powers and this question is going to change and now see it's ready to stop Cell over there. It's at this point when Trunks attacks Cell when they want to get much inside, and this makes sense, seeing us take the bad time themselves. Imagine there is no really great distance in front of Vegeta and take on Cell like this. Strengthens the back of Trunks and powered up to bring up this movement to make that 19. So I'm not very deep power of Vegeta. Well, it's obvious that real way can break your power of steam by spending another 5 minutes same upgrade. Such a time without again, it would make no sense. Power of the 5 minutes, allowing Cell adjustments and Trunks by 3 because they made it quick. And we can even support this further by when you confront Vegeta and blast it in the way. At this moment, there is no way regular Super Saiyan Trunks could blast away Super Vegeta and make him bleed, even if he wasn't expecting it. Trunks had to be grade 2 in order to muster up the power to even push Super Vegeta back, and Vegeta was never shocked at Super Trunks' power when he bulked up, which means even in all of Vegeta's arrogance, he never once felt threatened by Trunks' power exceeding his own in the grade 2 form. Yes, it could be very close, or exactly equal, but never above Vegeta's, and this is further strengthened by Trunks admitting in front of Cell that he possesses nearly as much power as Vegeta does, when referring to power. And early Vegeta was Trunks' power is not quite at his level, so he wasn't stupid, and I don't want to hear, well, Vegeta was just bragging he was fast, so he is a smart fighter.
Either way, that's the great debate about what it means to those how it is the time to train together. Trust and the angel kid. It's so well we keep money dead without sometimes hell so passive but still waiting. This Vegeta's great is a bug. Great that's the vision we have. Let's look at the so when you look at Vegeta's not himself, self-punishing, but with Trunks, despite his Cell was very resilient, but he didn't get data. When Cell was desperate, getting good out of that, but on the weird money, it was so the legal side of the when Cell they were dead, even if Cell was breaking, there is no way Cell would escape Super Vegeta. This was the same when he hit Trunks. A serious weakness, Cell would have made him equivalent of Lion, like that. We know that the Trunks was like way more time for Cell than a serious but maybe what else do we have to do? Okay, how about this? Cell starts transforming to the Trunks now. Cell transformation barrier and the animate the Cell stands in. The back of Cell's head whilst he possessed with the body and the attack Cell as he just stands in this some serious version. 17. Disrespectful vision by him and this by every Cell and its the standard into the fight. Now, literally has broken Cell. The Super Trunks is applied to him and how the Super Vegeta fare against Perfect Cell. Much better. No, it's fantastic. But it is also recommend the manga and Cell and against the Cell's not united, Vegeta himself will like to kick to the head, and you know that's what damage to be Cell's head. Out of its position, Trunks could definitely fit itself to the even standstill, and then when it gets started, when it gets attack, safe and answer, but unlikely to be the same effect as the final attack. What you need to understand is, even though it's we run enough time then in the card to achieve performance against Cell, proves his great yes of the final choice, and what's going to be great is something tired. But he was that we were not bad. Yes, he is now by the androids. A stronger willpower in the fight. Either way, they're also really great to me, but if there's anything to this video, it's Super Vegeta Grade 2 is stronger than Super Trunks Grade 2, and would pretty much guarantee his Grade 3 would be higher in power too. Trunks and Vegeta have always been about the same in the Cell Saga. Even after the second time Chamber training, both seemed relatively similar to Super Saiyans in the Cell game, so maybe Trunks learned a thing or two in his fight with Cell. That helped his training the second time around, helped him to gap between Vegeta fight the Cell game. Or perhaps Vegeta was slightly ahead. It's highly likely. Despite it making no sense, Trunks the hybrid and should have power potential. It's anyway, Vegeta was always the Trunks. He was the Trunks ever since he said the only time he talked of Vegeta when he had hit. And you will say when he was great, the ultra Vegeta didn't know what the direction Vegeta was after the time and you feel proud of yourself Vegeta would eventually be Trunks to experience Trunks' mind, but it was his point.
Get a shape with the child. Venus just gets up them.
Let's get over that. The battle. Now, Vegeta might be great. Same. Otherwise, the rest. Vegeta, Super Saiyan second grade. Big. No bad and flash himself then he God when flash himself take his attack God I was desecrated and I was the look himself make but I will get the rest like 10 in fact
Needless to say, Cell again. So put back in and he basically himself. Some argue Cell would have died if he attacked somewhere else. I don't know if I can see that argument, especially if Cell underestimated it, but just standing in to see if he can tank it. It still doesn't hold weight in Super Vegeta being able to finish the job because Goku must be charged up 87 Kamehameha and everybody hit by the going to find Cell and now I can forget but Goku credit Kamehameha and far stronger damaging when flash, despite the taking hit back, Goku charged. I attack, so it goes to attack, against the rank Cell, Vegeta's attack. Look, not being so done, Kamehameha, it's Cell, first right throw, it hit him, and that was Kamehameha, it Cell attack, Vegeta had no chance with his great final flash. But then you have to ask yourself, okay, great was enough. What about if they create and then flash Cell like a flash? That great power is pretty high, right guys? But as soon as seeing a Cell understand then becomes slow again, could be slow power. It's perfect and Cell has got a tremendous right. And remember that Cell was what we thought that when he comes to go. He had power up again to the 3 level. Now right here, the Cell could have actually ended Cell with his power. Very good. Say great. Yes, you could have extended your children. No. But I can't give the help when I'm using great power. Great. Check out this video and put out in front of you. I see one of the great power is no shock in terms of great power. So it's desperate. I can give all the time. Like a flash against Cell. Really needs the head. And well, there is a number of reasons why he did. I know he was great, but like flash makes head and says that I know someone would say like he does no. Remember when he was great. Cell and everything. Cell. This guy in charge now is Cell. Island, you rat biggest. Like anything. Let's do it. This is the they want to understanding against Cell and make it epic over again. That's that big hit. He was the best at the player, and thinks he's the best. But really, like, they can go free. But another reason why Vegeta may have not been free to attack himself is hardly himself. The element of surprise, if you think about it, himself and then Vegeta seemingly held back a formation to fight Flash as his surprise last ditch. He did see himself like this insane power up at his final flashback. And Cell was shooting to pick up them Vegeta was doing. Like I said earlier, so if he did he would press himself out at that point, would have done it. Like I said, now himself start to shock Cell, just like when he was at this point. That comes from the serious question. What the hell happened now to you guys? If the power of Vegeta in front of himself, and Cell said, I was not great. Certain power in front of him, Cell not be at risk now, but equal power attack against now already great. Like crazy shots, they punch the kick, it weird like hell and exactly something transformation. Not of allowed to gather the enemy surprise like Flash. Cell would not have taken that level of risk head on. It would have been much harder to smack him for a month. Another reason he didn't make the whole fight Flash under the down with the thing they could transverse and make just so angry hitting things and transforming again rather just I mean, he's going angry with the blood and make them like to be by the Flash and he's only really great but another fight him yeah, it's okay. judgment. He himself carried trainer, despite being so like he is defensively now Final Flash. Super Vegeta's strength for his final flash to get the job done. Obviously it was a miscalculation, but at that time, he probably thought no one could survive this attack when charged up this way. Arrogance? Yes. But he's just acquired this new level of power, so why the hell not? However, despite all these plausible reasons, all of them fall short of the next reason, which I heavily placed my bet on, was the reason Vegeta didn't use Super Saiyan Grade 3 for the final flash.
Still looking for the worst. You better get them impression instantly. Reason here wins. Reason behind them. We're in the air to fight even your weakest numbers. Here we go. Smell that the reason is the final flash was literally down to the back. Not in any different. So hear me out. A character like Vegeta has one thing that in his body when he transforms. It's the next one. Then, whatever, back to the for attack, it's simple and to understand. Energy output, Vegeta's final flash itself was Vegeta collected and drawing on pretty much the majority of heat inside himself in one attack. A state of energy to jump tied to the quick attack because he was trying to gather everything he had. See, even if Vegeta wait, yes, probably going to Vegeta quicker, the performance was gradually excessive amount, but it's still the same heat that Vegeta was trying to gather the same everything when a Vegeta is irregular spontaneous but it will take longer in the lower forms to gather it's already accessed all of that heat to transform in and just being present in the form. Vegeta's final flash was energy from everything he had, and was probably the best way to unload all of that energy in one blast, rather than transforming first and then doing it, because he sort of used that key need for the attack to just transform and sustain the form, wasting key. These are technical reasons. When perceived as Super Vegeta's entire fight, you could argue Vegeta had expended some energy blasting and hitting around semi-perfect Cell, plus when Cell became perfect, he used up a little bit more energy and then got hit extremely hard into the ocean, thus weakening him a little bit. You could argue that at this point, Vegeta didn't have enough energy reserve in the tank to make the jump from grade 2 to grade 3, because he needed that remaining energy for the final flash itself. Where you could say if he ascended and bulked up to grade 3, he would have used the remaining energy to just transform, and his final flash may not have been as strong due to his less than key. And I think that is the best reason. If Vegeta went to grade 3, he doesn't get a magical full heal on his key reserves. No, he is sucked dry constantly until he goes and rests up for a few hours. Or eat a sense of meat. Sometimes you have to be efficient in managing your key, and I think that's what Vegeta was doing. In order to hit Cell with his best attack, he managed his key correctly there. Why couldn't Ninja Trunks become a Super Saiyan 2 before present time like Gohan in Dragon Ball Z? What was the problem Ninja Trunks faced despite being introduced stronger than Gohan when Ninja Trunks killed Frieza, despite being stronger than Gohan when both entered the time chamber for the first time, despite being older? What in-story reason prevented one Saiyan hybrid becoming as strong as the other? The first son of Goku versus the first son of Vegeta. You would think Trunks would have at least similar potential in Dragon Ball Z compared to Gohan, considering Dragon Ball Super, Trunks obtaining level of power has no more potential that could take on the likes of Goku Black. Powers far beyond the powers introduced at the start of Dragon Ball Super, such as Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. Of course, Gohan's powers take the rival Super Saiyan Blue later on, close to Tournament of Power, or
or at the very least, base levels of power beyond Battle of Gods. And even in the manga, Fight and Fusion, where Super Saiyan Blue Goku was starting to find Kale, one fusion part in a handful. And this was just from him regaining his fighting instincts over the weekend. I'm not trying to make sense of it, I'm just stating what I saw. My point being that in Dragon Ball Super, the hybrid potential wasn't held down. They could become stronger in a heartbeat, but of course, we know most power creeps are down to plot and marketing, but the story still stands. Trunks and Gohan were in Super. Even if you wish to use the manga only, Trunks' Super Saiyan 2 powers take to rival the post-Battle of Gods Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which is an incredible power of in its own right, but it's still nothing to what we have now with Gohan, who has become Beast Gohan, and is still younger than what Trunks was in the Goku Black Arc. Either there's favoritism in the writing, or Trunks has a huge problem. But let's go back to Dragon Ball Z. Trunks grew up in a world filled with suffering, so there's no doubt he has a lot of emotion built up inside. Of course, this is down to the writer allowing it. Where Gohan was written to be a monster as a Super Saiyan 2, and Trunks was written to be the one to change the future, but not to be the strong one. It's a great story, but it still makes you wonder an inverse reason. If the trigger was right, could Trunks have gone Super Saiyan 2 before Gohan? And more importantly, why wasn't Trunks as strong as Gohan in general back then? Gohan had a lot of hidden potential back then in Dragon Ball Z. In fact, that was the entire foundation of his arc from Z. It all surfaced in the Cell games and ultimately completed his arc. So when watching Cell games, the simplest answer is that Trunks just wasn't strong enough to wield Super Saiyan 2, or didn't have the hidden potential that Gohan had during that time, where even if Trunks had taken Super Saiyan from the Cell games, he potentially still wouldn't be as strong as Gohan's Super Saiyan level. Just close, but not quite. Also, being the son of Vegeta, where Vegeta has shown higher natural potential than Goku throughout Dragon Ball Z and Super, but it raises even more questions about Trunks' natural potential. So let's look at Gohan's fighting experience compared to Trunks to see if that would be a reason why Trunks' potential didn't shine like Gohan's in Z. Gohan had experience preparing with the Saiyans and his journey to Namek and what transpired on that planet. You can count the Garlic Jr. arc if you're looking at anime exclusive stories. This is followed by 3 years preparing with the androids, then nearly a year in the time chamber, as well as the fight with Cell, all of which adds up to approximately 5 to 6 years worth of intense times for Gohan. With Future Trunks, he's roughly 17 years old when he defeats Frieza. Then he comes back 3 years later and follows up with 2 years in the time chamber, but to around 22 years old. And yes, the 3 years did pass for Trunks. His time machine is linked to the present timeline. International experience. Present timeline with the time machine.
You and that cow dragon. You will violate time and time.
But either way, after the second round of the idea,
you've already defeated by a ring in a bunch of feelings before. Very important. But you won't stay the chance.
I bet so much fight from it. I had to get it. We didn't die, but it was next. Standing with the king. So that's it. Got it right. Catch, but something to see. I'll have to get around. Not that effect. Saga, but it's impactful compared to Namek and every back then. However, when Future Trunks does return to the future to kill the Antichrist, with their father involved by that point of much younger future. Like, that's it. You find the rarely doing the now we got. So when Gohan, that's a story for another day. When it's running to the timeline of Future Trunks and investments, but they have power themselves and have its age despite all the hybrids. It wouldn't be until years later by some breath Trunks was actually introduced to finally, but that's what it was in training. But Gohan is much younger and powerful and in training we don't never but still time chamber the basic and that would be was intense. Itself, like my boys came together back fucking massively on trucks. You have to remember, no one started trading anybody every day to the trucks. But you know what survived we can't trade trucks? We would have definitely had the best foundation of trading dollars. Rather than getting traffic that time again, that's not trading, that's not conditioning. Make anything, then you have to predict. But then, that will see how bad how is it right then. Like I said, which never take this back can't be done all the time. Never love just never traumatized. In conclusion, going with the right choice to push the one on the south side. And pursue. But no one we can say no. And don't definitely decide faster than trucks. Taking this Imagine trucks have the same range trigger and sound as you back in the cell games. Imagine having if we go by the wild version of events, it's just pushing forward now. Let's change stuff. Game when people are dying. Like, give up becoming understand, that would have been treated for the next level. The greatest of the sand, that we have trucks, rather than all the dice. Again, right now, when you compare this to Pokemon, when you say select, go for that power, exactly. So the gap time factor is insane. Future trucks in the Mark version, like when you see some time ice cream. It is, you should have had the potential to see it. But you guys know about that. I think the future potential. So just go around in circles where it all boils down to Gohan unlocked more potential than Trunks at his age. I don't want to say Gohan's got infinitely more potential than Trunks despite both being hybrids, although it does seem that way right now with these Gohan, but we haven't had much of Trunks lately, at least not in the big comic view. We just don't know how far Trunks will go either, and if it's Super Saiyan Rage, out of nowhere is it playing as no flag, then I'm not counting him out just yet in terms of his potential. And that's it. Being a hybrid was the key to more potential in Dragon Ball Z, but they would still need the proper fighting and training experience to bring out the potential faster, as well as a suitable trigger for more rage. And as proven with Gohan, it was done at half the age of Future Trunks. But the biggest problem with Future Trunks and what he had to face was not himself, but the writing.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get up high quality that's guaranteed fresh and down low prices on over 1,000 items. With quality and savings that add up, Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
What an epic adventure indeed!
I was like so fed up with dating, and I went into it with very low expectations.
You and that track.
We can those potentials there, but show edge.
You've already been defeated by a raider, and a bunch of you before. Brave
Which version of Gohan is the best? We hear that answer nearly every day in the fandom, but there are always different answers based on what a person considers best to be. Power, mindset, story relevance, exciting moments, how to be determined and what and I think the best way to do this would be from any moments in class we have Gohan, good, nagging, analyzing, character accuracy from the start of Dragon Ball Z all the way up to modern times, such as in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. The truth is, Gohan is here to change the bit from the arc and the left. The answer to the result in Super Saiyan Gohan, Cell Games,
future Gohan and lately, many looking since Beast Gohan will obvious hype train. The best Gohan always not is the best character, but rather what they think is the best based on who they like most, who is the coolest. Although it's quite that favorite, we need separate preferences made from character purpose and accomplishment. You would have thought that the character stuck in time, and he thought primarily the story was like from the end of the cell game and the dependency in the original anime, Gohan has spent 99.9% of life in peace with a saga last 2 days, but the rest of his time around that, about 7 years and decades, even going back to the magic years was still limited. He's not getting fighting, training hard yet. Yet, what years have dynamic waiting for them to come back up. And of course, the first 4 years of his life was peaceful. The only time Gohan in any major conflict was 1 year training. Stands happening the same battle. Something dynamic. As you are in the cell game, like when you're traded, this is a very time combat, quite considerable. Like, we obviously have the right to duty and GT win. Gohan does get a short duration, but it's not much time at all. Gohan is not militarily infuriated, but then he has barely created by the character just his life. It's understandable, right? Right, my never back, the action, and it's the fact of the conflicts of the chapter. So this is why we talk about Gohan and way up with those and people in his life, which is the best, but the character, potential, and right, natural, relatable guy, family, job, but at the same time, have expectations in place, incredible power when the bad guys show up. It's important to note that almost every version of Gohan does one thing that many people could outcome, because that's how Gohan works. Even Resurrection and Gohan is something that many people could outcome. That was power enough, high enough, that we could even get to battle. Every Gohan is in that sense pretty much, but again, I refer to Gohan is the character in Dragon Ball. How will the rest stand alongside his warrior roots? In terms of Gohan being equal when Scarlet goes Scarlet Goku, there is no Gohan in all successful and department. The GT Gohan, he has spent years with Scarlet, but the taking of the Gohan the franchise, he was big, he is like, he's happy with that. And even if you don't like Gohan the Scholar, you can't deny that Gohan is his character. He did really best in Scholar for a long period of time, thinking Gohan here. The next obvious choice is the Scholar is endless with Gohan, as people get to see Gohan that it helps you fight with Gohan. Time by surface, you travel back to less close to what is Gohan and it's easy to go on. Yeah, you need his things that change to people letting go in something else. Right, but now that we have an idea of where Gohan is in the pecking order of being a successful character, it's more like the story is generally is successful, but the best thing of Gohan when it comes to the other way, it will be as a character. So now let's switch over to Gohan, because that's what is in the head, a number of things to consider, carrying the light, skilling, moves. However, when it comes to power, we're looking at these Gohan, right? Duty, and we're looking at GT Gohan, individuality. Then we're looking at Gohan's skill, but just skill, like I said, we have little, no mistakes. The God is a veteran. Again, we all look at these Gohan, GT Gohan, because the whole point of this presentation is to build them up. And that's it. Right back again, bring that towers. A beast is the result of light and joy together creating whatever the hell it is. At the moment I make this video, nobody knows exactly what it is. We know Gohan's light in its highest figures. The Toriyama division stated as the key that's health, right? That's courage. That essentially means you could be invisible to strength like the ultimate power, like mind, courage, your own power. But with the high end, I think you can potential with GT Gohan is far beyond Usagi Gohan, and it's far beyond NT Gohan as initial stage of the activation. Let's get serious. Freshly feeling climb after climb after climb after. Capturing him, that is sufficient. Trade, he still has the power to set the signal for that. Back then, every transformation and artificial source is direct in place of the still stack. I've got to cover this here for you. I've got a whole different video about this. Go on, but it brings me to the point that Goldman was ready for battle. He showed up in body and mind, obviously paid when Horus is the main guard. Hey, go on, always ready, battle ready. Never look foolish, I'm prepared as a warrior light, holding up done by his now. Johnson, Mega, let's be honest, they were most so dependent on what about cell games? Something fast to maintain that mass level right? Well, yes and no. Yes, because of the reason only for his age. And you see, Gohan made a great mistake was into. He let his emotions out his senses, he got arrogant. Tyler was fueled with this. Gohan then went to a situation of motivation self-doubt. He recommended himself and helped bring this back to the fun. And I when the fun fight was going, finally ramped up. It didn't matter if he had half injuries because mind and courage become the other two. That was the power. And those opponents took over power. The highest point it was in Cell Gate and it destroyed Cell Power. Stress about every hour. Now that point needs to go up but not reacting. See, like that. In terms of total power, that causes full potential unleashed for that age. You see the reason why Gohan had switch power to Saga was because Gohan if you had mage is sleeping reason that potential of being tired. Anyway, the Cell Games because it was so back then, just the same. But at the end of the Cell Games, even though he is the strongest Gohan, it's the best advantage for the movement. So right at the start of the scene, when you get the Cell Games, that's training as a kid. But what you got to realize is Gohan was the smashed up Namek until the end of the saga. He doesn't play when it's possible. Sure, he wasn't close by to Gohan, but I think his mind courage and the right exactly the sacrifice to save Saga. That's against the bad guys. I definitely didn't like courage back then. But Saga Gohan because Saga Gohan surrendered his ability throughout the 25th guy in Alpha Direction. Inside the sniper, he thought that wisdom was rusty as hell. Was super fun. His mind wave at big time, like the sun, like the skin child, like the moon, say it so. Literally, the best experience. Reason why it's easy. So that cancels out. So I feel like that is kind of what bad advantage is that I'm going to give a shout at but the Gohan active would build itself back up to have any gutsy fight with the power expedition to reclaim it. Power action past the Alpha power making it outlet and utilizing and other events saving over you give them a light again and stay right you know get back his fight sense that was definitely and he's a successful I feel like it's way higher than this because he really didn't have it exactly for the strong but his potential is higher and higher and his mind has to be better and how to again but I could be the badass of him and it was his doing it as well against you I'm like that nothing else but fight some fight and even I and standing in power like was the fact of fight in spirit something definitely that any of the funky items they start playing. And then, much later, future Gohan is completely definitive. There's no big anything Gohan is playing, it's like a shot, but then awakened fast. He may have won, and all of this dark, I like this darkness on future Gohan's bonfire every spring like a this. Beast Gohan and Gohan will automatically counter the other one's that Gohan at these points than the others. Sure, you can go on. Shut up. It's all that train road. Like I said, based on the this I feel like the challenge again, based on that mindfulness, brilliance, lifestyles, followed by Gohan during the Tournament of Power. Also, this includes Gohan in the manga events for Moro as he continued to have a balanced lifestyle as a warrior and scholar. Then it follows by Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at the end of the Cell games, only after he learned from his mistakes during that arc. Then I'm going to say End of Z Gohan because depending on the continuity, if we go by the classic Z and Dragon Ball manga, it appeared that Gohan went full time into being a scholar. But if we're considering the Dragon Ball
We got tomatoes, onions, green peppers. I haven't been catching many fish lately. Vegetables are going to have to do. What's the first meal you want to eat once we take down the Empire, Kaiser?
Oh, it's a bit early to be planning menus, Louisa.
I know. Bringing down an Empire is a long, involved job. But you won't allow even a few seconds to daydream? Promise me you'll take a good long break when this is over.
Louisa, if only you could wake up, I'd...
It's super early today, man. God.
I knew it all along.
As a loyal Imperial soldier, we Imperial soldiers will ensure your safety.
Good job, man.
Oh, damn it. Interested in any weapon? All the best required gear from the Imperial Army.
Got some Marvel Boken today, man. Got some Marvel. Your title is wrong. It says open beta, not closed. Oh, let me fix that for you, dude. Yo, Howard, thanks for the beat too, though, bud.
Blame me for Rose being late.
What?
Blame me. Blame me.
That boy Super Piccolo. That boy Piccolo, bud. Close beta, change the title. Like that. Yo, my boy, man, thanks so much, Howard, for the $2 donation, though, boy. I appreciate that, bruh. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, Howard, for the bit, too, bruh. Chat, you know what? Guess what? They sent me a code. They sent me a code, bruh. Like an hour before, they literally sent me one. Yo, Big Bird with me, too, though, boy.
Did not post that video.
I ain't gonna lie, really suck. I know I'm not gonna lose it. I'm sorry, Big Bird. It really slipped my mind, bro. I'm tweaking, bro. I'm sorry, Big Bird. I'm sorry, bro. That is super slipped my mind, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, Big Bird. That's on that boy too passionate, bro. It ain't even my fault, bro. My fault, bro. My fault. My fault. That boy wrote buzzing shots. That boy's bad. But nah, man. So yeah, they sent me a code, bro. So John
I didn't have to use John account, bro. So W that, bro. They sent me my personal code. I was at like McDonald's and I got an email. Pretty wrong. I was like, this shit.
Come on.
So yeah, bro. So I rushed home and got into it though, bro. Yo, what's good? You my boy Dark with B.
Got sent a code. You didn't have to meet me. W.
Hey, you see that, Dark? You know that, yeah, but didn't have to meet you. Still got the code, but didn't have to meet you, but. What? Oh. Did I say McDonald's? I mean, Panera Bread.
Come back soon, or somebody might snatch up a pencil.
We ain't gonna talk about that, bro. I didn't mean to say McDonald's. I guess I done slid it up. Yeah, I done slid it up. That's my fault, bro. I ain't gonna lie, chat, bro. I think today was the fastest day I done ate, bro. Like, I ate in like 50, bro, so I can show you play off, bro. My stomach kind of hurting, but I'm taking time, but nah, man, it was good, bro. Yo, my boy Reed said, I said, big man, what you read?
Got bought out, huh?
What happened, bro? Why you disappointed, though, bro? Yo, my boy Birdman 10K with no big dollar, though, $2 nation. I appreciate that, bro. Big man, I mean, Birdman, good, bro.
I guess you're gonna have to kill me.
I'm gonna play the movie in a minute.
He's never told me.
Just want to get my chip point down from that much.
I've told you not to lie to me. What makes you think your word means anything to me? Perhaps you're not afraid of death, but what about the boy? Will you let him die before you speak?
Don't you dare!
Don't trouble yourself with slum trash, Vesper. Think about His Majesty's stance. His Majesty said to help Kaiser, so I'm just trying to find his whereabouts to assist him. By threatening to kill a child. That's a bit extreme, Vesper. I'm afraid I have no choice. Step aside. Vesper, this isn't you. I think there's something wrong with you, just like it was for me before. You need to rest. Drop this pathetic act, it's insulting! Or do you want me to demonstrate my new powers on you?
What's going on?
That man tried to kill us, and the leader of the Holy Order is trying to stop him.
Finally showed up, Kaiser.
Kaiser, you should leave. This is between me and Vesper.
Oh, this'll be a good show.
Your Majesty.
Please accept my apologies. This incident has been taken care of.
Ready with the old cliches.
My explicit instructions were to assist Glimmer, but instead he violated my command. This is an unforgivable crime, especially for the deputy commander of the
I'll answer everything here for you, okay? So, leave a big
Your
like
concerns
on
are truly harsh.
Henceforth, the security around Primarius will be fully managed by the Holy Order. Your companions are heroes.
Why are you doing this exactly?
I wish to marshal my full powers to assist you in defeating Aramon.
Oh, what a generous soul.
The alternate dimensions hold the power necessary to defeat Aramon, do they not?
Maybe. We might not be enemies for now, but we'll never be friends.
I know you have met Celeria, and you didn't trust my words last time.
At least that much is true.
Remember this. I established a vast and healthy empire. I granted countless souls access to the miracle of Voidrak's energy. Meanwhile, an embittered Celeria holds up in her mountain stronghold with her foe. So think on it. Me or Celeria? Which of us makes for a better partner against Aramon?
Steam only has confirmation that the expected date for Diamond should be this September.
Take your time.
It's a
But
lot
this
to
month,
think about.
the new Dragon.
If someday you need my help, just ask.
I won't tell you, Nick. I was just finna watch this shit. People got the fast watching the phone. Please call me. Yeah.
The new Conjuring movie. They say this the most cynical of the all because it's based on a true life story, a true life video. And it's been said that multiple people got one video, multiple people have literally been possessed in the theater.
And that's scary. That's creepy.
Joy, they have a priest praying over people before they go in. People were saying it's hyped up, but no, why do you have to do that? No, Cap, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe that they were doing that as liability insurance as well as look at this.
Feeling hungry?
They got a ring of priest too. Wow.
Oh, this one? Come back anytime. The food supply.
No, thank you.
That smelly emperor's just lying again.
Yeah.
I'm available for anyone who would like to talk or do a prayer or just any questions on this. You need Catholic priest here, and I hope you enjoy this movie. And then don't mind me if I don't.
Feeling better.
Okay. And so, here's the reason why they had a Catholic priest. Here's some of the situations that were happening in the theater.
What the heck? If you want to earn extra money on the side just by being you, well, Surveys on the Go lets you do just that. We pay you cash money. That's right. You heard what I said. All you need to do is,
I trust you.
you know, do whatever it is you do. Whether you're shopping, eating out, or just simply browsing the internet, Surveys on the Go pays some cash for your data and taking surveys through our easy to use app. Download on the App Store and Google Play now.
In the theater at the movie.
Good one.
At the movie theaters, getting possessed, demonic spirits coming while the movie, because spirits don't travel on. They can travel on any plane like that. They can jump screens. They can jump on. That's why when you watch certain movies. That's why you might have nightmares. Right? Stuff popped up because they can. So what they do? They were praying over. They were trying to look at their praying. They were saying there was multiple instances. That's the only one I've caught. But they said there were multiple instances. People were getting spirits, getting possessions in the movie from the film.
Glimmer and the
From the film. Listen to, and so the reason behind this film, right, is from the Smurl family. This was the worst, considered the worst possession ever recorded. And from this family, the Smurl family, which is the whole movie based off. Apparently, this demonic spirit that was in their house was the one of the most powerful demonic spirits that they ever encountered in one house. So let's listen to the girl explain about the Smurl family. Right.
As a loyal
Imperial soldier is a nightmare on Chase Street to some of the locals. It's also the basis of a book and the movie called The Haunted that was written in 1986. Jack and Jack is from the house on Chase Street in West 1973. The haunting that they reported took place between 1973 and 1986, and within that time they had two of their daughters, Heather and Shannon. It started with small things like tools going missing, stains coming through the window with just freshly painted, plugged in, and also smells that would start and disappear just as quickly as they came. Things quickly intensified
testified on the night of Heather's confirmation. Jimmy was getting the girls ready for Heather's confirmation when his plane broke free and through the dining table. There was no warning that this was going to happen, and Shannon was left with a gash on her forehead, and the table was a disaster. Not too long after the day, Janet was downstairs doing laundry when she heard a woman call her name. Thinking that it was her sister upstairs, she yelled that she'd be right up, but when she got to the top of the stairs, there was nobody up there. After that, the Smurl family reported that lights would turn on and off when the home, doors would open and shut on a whim. They would hear knocks on the walls and freeze, and they'd see shadows in their peripheral vision. So stay on it. One night, Jack and Janet were sleeping, and they heard an otherworldly howl. They thought it was their German Shepherd Simon that was sleeping on the floor next to them. When Jack reached down to pet Simon, his hand was pulled back and held, and he was not able to pet Simon. Once he was finally able to break his neck free and go down and comfort the dog, he realized that the dog was just sleeping. Poor Simon, the thoughts seemed to go outside without any help. He was getting thrown up against walls, fighting up for his there. Soon these angry animals would turn.
I never thought the Emperor would go this far to help us.
He understands the threat of
We've got to speed things up, Kaiser. 2 more alternate dimensions left, I think.
Yes. The snow plains in the Land of Fire.
Zana should be well versed in navigating the snow plains. I don't believe you will need me on this journey.
Agreed. But what will you do instead?
The Land of Fire. The final alternate dimension. This one I know absolutely nothing about. So, I'm going to stay at the port to research whatever I can. I'll be waiting for your return there.
I appreciate it. The more we know, the better.
First of all, I need to figure out where the Land of Fire is.
Are you having doubts, Kaiser?
I'll do everything to locate that alternate dimension. You just hurry and talk to Zana. Time is ticking.
Understood.
After this, the Smurls were desperate for help, and they turned to the media to make their cases more public. This company, famous Lorraine Warren. Ed and Lorraine Warren covered many high-profile paranormal cases across that area. Ed and Lorraine Warren came to investigate, and they found that there were 4 different spirits residing within the home, and I'm going to read those to you. They were an elderly woman, a young and possibly violent little girl, a man who suffered and died in the home, and a demon that used the other 3 spirits to haunt the Smurls. The Warrens tried to persuade the demon to leave by playing religion.
And correction, those were not people. Those were all spirits, but the spirits have different ranking. One can be way higher on the level than the other ones. I believe that those are 3 other, maybe lesser spirits, but the 4th one was the almighty one of those spirits.
But during this process, he shook the mirrors, shook the floor, and eventually left a message on a mirror that told Ed Warren to get out. The Warrens put the Smurls in touch with an extendable priest. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And he came over and ended up doing an exorcism on the home. This did decrease the activity a little. After a few days of no activity, the priest did end up leaving. They would go on to have 2 more exorcisms, and finally, in 1987, they were so sick of the hauntings, they decided to move and never looked around.
Look how long that took.
I would have paid to go visit there. Probably shouldn't. So, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos and interacting with them. If you have any paranormal events,
and look at this, and look, look at this little. So this is the person this person is a contourist or something. This how they made the scenes look so demonic.
More people are losing their soul before I need to record the curses. Give you all the details.
Es Action Exorcismo del Conjuro 3.
I got all of this for $30. It's called Lifetime. Download it. You just search what you're looking for, and there's people who are live selling these things and you are bidding. So let's see what I do. Look at the bottom of the it's initially $75, and I could use this for $4. Everything's was freaking $94. Got this for $4. $2. So cute. $2. This is more reasonable than what I got it for $1. Oh.
Ding, ding, it's done.
For $7. Oh my god, it's heavy.
That was an easy one.
You don't have to go to the estates, the stores,
ding,
nothing.
Ding, it's done.
If you are a thrift shopper, this is for you.
How's that? Not bad, right? Ding, ding, it's done. How's that? Not bad, right? That was an easy one.
Let's go. Can you just trust me?
Crazy.
No, thank you.
Crazy.
Okay.
Listen, I got a Bible scripture. We're going to go before we talk. So, on Luke 8, 26 to 38.
Go ahead.
You Marie?
I'll pick up down here somewhere.
Then they sailed to this is Jesus. Then they sailed to the country of the Gadarenes, which is opposite Galilee. And when he stepped out on the land, there met a certain man from the city who had demons for a long time. And he wore no clothes, nor did he live in a house, but in a tomb. When he saw Jesus, he cried out, fell down before him with a loud voice, and said, what do I have to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me. For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man, for it had often seized him, and he was kept under guard, bound with chains and shackles, and he broke the bounds and was driven by the demon into the wilderness. Read, you keep reading.
Jesus asked him, saying, what is your name? And he said, Legion, because many demons had entered him, and they begged him that he would not command them to go out into the abyss. Now a herd of many swine was feeding there on the mountain, so they begged him that he would permit them to enter him, and he permitted them. Then the demons went out of the man and entered the swine, and herd ran violently down the steep place into the lake and drowned. When those who fed them saw what had happened, they fled and told it in the city and in the country. Then they went out to see what had happened and came to Jesus and found the man from whom the demons had departed, sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. They also, who had seen it, told them by what means he who had been demon-possessed was healed. Then the whole multitude of the surrounding region of the Gadarenes asked him to depart from them. For they were seized with great fear. And he got into the boat and returned.
You can stop right now.
Wow.
So the only name that can cast out demons and deal with situations is the name of Jesus. But what's crazy to me is,
interested in that one?
if you look at all the people in the movies, and typically the paranormal community are the first ones who want to see stuff like this. But what I've learned about the paranormal community, for the people that's going to research and learn about demons the most, these are the least people that believe in God.
Always come back. Anytime. Really, come back.
Demonic possession. That man was possessed in the movie theater. People in there, because I've listened to paranormal, but that's how they even get the content. You go to these are paranormal people page. They have no belief in Jesus, and you go into the demonic. The people that should be in the study of the paranormal should be God fearing, Christ loving, Christ believing people, right? Because you're going directly with the demonic forces to see something.
Scary, yeah. Ooh. And they had a priest there, and the priest was like, enjoy the movie.
Yeah, so I jump a little bit. And, those are Catholic priests. Catholic priests be like, I don't know. I don't really have a full understanding on the Catholic priest sometimes, bro.
But, I mean...
He seemed like a little sugary Catholic priest down there, too.
All I'm going to say is...
Don't scare me, guys, with the name.
Stop it. All I'm going to say is... that ain't it. And the friends of the guy who was down who the person was on the ground, it just sounded like a guy. That mean to me, they had no power because they were like, one guy was just like, and the other guys, what were they saying? What were they doing? Like, in disbelief, which means they could not help him.
If that was all the power they had, that man's still in movies.
I mean, how did they get him out?
Well, you can only get him out at that point of releasing, because once you're in that state, you're not aware.
They had to call somebody. That's interesting. No thank you and no thank you.
People,
wow.
The demonic is real.
And those people stayed there for how many years?
Years before they left.
Well, at least they didn't die, because I thought it was going to be something
Like the Amityville
fatal.
house.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Was when you said the worst, I was like, Amityville. And that Amityville, that stuff had me scared. I saw that as a young person.
But there's still today, people on TikTok will show, and it'd be legit. They stuff just be moving in the house. You see the drawers, just da-da-da-da, the window, da-da-da-da-da. Some fall across the floor. I was like, it's a couple times, I was like, is this BS? And you look at it, and then people will respond. They'll respond to people in the comment section. They'll be like, yeah, you sure? You sure it was cap? And she's like, okay, watch this. You know how people reply to people on comments, and they'll just be moving. I'm like, you still in the house? Listen here. Forget my credit. Forget everything. Because if I can't get this spirit out, or if I don't have enough power in the name of Jesus to get this spirit out, then you got to go.
Yeah, this is...
Going on to the next house.
Thank you.
So, demonic spirits are real, people. Demonic spirits are real. Don't let people tell you little girl, old woman. No, the dead are dead. What's walking, what you're seeing are spirits.
Right. That's it.
If y'all want to see more of this, smash that down below. Hit the like button. Share this content.
Email.
Send us email. Yeah.
Suggestions.
It's in the email list.
All right, great people.
We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Star Trek Fleet Command. In this game, you will have to make important strategic decisions that impact your gameplay and player experience. Will you focus on upgrading your warp engines to reach star systems and planets unknown? Will you prioritize upgrading your armaments to deal with threats that might arise? Or will you focus on a more evasive route and build impenetrable shields so you can wander the vast galaxy in peace? Choose wisely and become the captain of your own destiny in Star Trek Fleet Command.
Have you seen those ads with the blue guys going left to right, getting the ×2 and -3? It looks really fun to play, and I want to play it so bad, but every time I download it, it's totally fake. Look at this ad, for example. Blue guys going left to right, defeating red enemies and getting upgrades, but I just downloaded it and it's fake. Sir, that's because you downloaded the wrong game. The real game is called Last War. Click the link on screen and try it. Really? The game is actually real, and we just got an upgrade. Let's go get more troops on the right side. Perfect. Now we can take out the watermelons in the middle, and maybe we can save this guy in the tank. That's going to require a lot of damage, though. Let's take out more watermelons in the middle, maybe get some more troops on the right side. There we go. Now we can get the minigun upgrade. Nice. That minigun upgrade is going to help a ton. We can get the tank now. Wait, that big watermelon is approaching us. We're going to have to take him out fast. Nice. We got the watermelon. Let's get more troops on the right side and take out some more enemies in the middle. Now we can get the guy in the tank. Wait, no, we need this upgrade in the middle. I lost troops. Could it be time for Ed and Lorraine Warren to actually retire? Before you head into The Conjuring Last Rites, here's everything you need to know about the couple, their cases, and all of those toys they keep locked away. The movie versions of Ed and Lorraine are similar to their real-life couple.
Damn. Damn.
And that's what they're shooting on. Okay.
record the... Let's get a record of this. What do you want to craft? What do you want to craft? Ding, ding, it's done. Oh, nothing else then, huh? I've got some talk. This is my collection of accessories. You have my permission to be awestruck. Oh, well, see you next time, I guess. Give me all the details. Quite the epic adventure indeed.